Come on in, guys. Come on in. We gotta talk. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. 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 Wow, wow, wow. We've got to talk. Hey, y'all. Hey, guys. Hey, guys. You okay? Good. You got a notification. Somebody said they got a notification. That's a 1 in a million chances. Hey, guys, come on in. I hope you guys can see me and hear me clearly. Load on in. I just knew y'all was gonna already be here when I got here. Come on in. Share the live. We gotta talk. Since the essence debauchery that's been happening online, I did a live the other day about it. I something caught my attention, which was the UN meeting that some of the people that was a part of the essence attended, and I'm like, how are they able to attend a UN meeting? And I have found a rabbit hole unlike any other. So we're about to talk about it. This diaspora, African diaspora, is a multi-billion-dollar scam. And unfortunately, it is off of the backs of Black Americans, Negroes, coloreds, darkies, the ones who they said toiled and snared in the field, the ones who they said crossed the impossible Atlantic Ocean. In a time where ships were unable to pass, we were here. We made it, guys. 6 months at the bottom of boats, shackled, skin to skin, cheek to cheek, bodily fluid to bodily fluid. I don't know how we survived 6 months. Salt water bouncing off the wooden boats. No motor in the boats, just sails and millions of darkies traveling from the shores of Africa to America, land of the free, except you. They have used that story against us. I'm thinking to keep you and I docile, to keep us unresearched, to keep us knowledgeless as it relates to our lineage, as if we were ever totally knowledgeless. Last I checked, we were the only ones having family reunions. We were the only ones keeping Bibles just for genealogy. Everybody else was keeping Bibles for whatever other reason. We kept them for genealogy. I just got a thumbs down. That's somebody from the African Union. Oh, stay a while. I got to show you something. Please click like in here to combat that thumbs down that I just received. Thank you. If you're on TikTok, hey, TikTok. Ooh, get the Africans in here. They show on TikTok. Let's discuss where they got their money from. So guys, while we were asleep, While we were fighting for reparations, apparently the Nigerian government heard us. And they had a meeting over here in America with the former President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris, so much so that an executive order was written. I'm about to read it here for you. Because this, my friends, is very interesting. Let's read it. Let's share my screen. Guys, on TikTok, you're not going to be able to see my screen, but you will hear me reading. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, I think I'm on Facebook too. I'm not totally sure. I hope I am connected on Facebook. I know I'm connected on YouTube. Please share the live for those of you who are on TikTok and not TikTok, but Twitter. For those of you who are on Twitter, random Indian man wants to join my live. I don't know who you are, sir. You could be the Mossad. No thanks. For those of you who are on Twitter, whoever shared my live to Twitter the other day really did good. I appreciate it. Please share this link as well to Twitter. Whoever that was, any of you who got Twitter, because I don't have a Twitter. So do y'all, while I go over this, I need at least 10 of you to get a calculator. We're going to need to run some numbers. 5 or 10 of you, I will need you to get a calculator. 5 or 10 of you, please get a calculator. Tell everybody I am live. I need someone to crunch these numbers as I'm reading. Get a calculator. You have some time because I'm about to read this executive order, and then I'm going to need you guys to crunch some numbers for us here. And also, for those of you who are not getting a calculator, keep in the back of your mind Kamala Harris's quote when she said, "I'm not going to do anything for Black people." No! Keep that. Keep that in the back of your head when I get to reading this. Okay, let's share screens here. Executive Order 14089, establishing the President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States, December 13th, 2022. Now, when you read African Diaspora, you thought they was talking about niggers. Well, we thought. I didn't know about this executive order. You didn't know either. Let me continue reading. An executive order now. Okay. Crucial. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, and in order to strengthen the dialogue between the United States official and the African diaspora by elevating engagements through collaboration, partnerships, community building amongst the United States, Africa, and other nations globally, it is hereby ordered as follows. Policy. The United States' long-standing commitment to engage with the African diaspora, people of Native African origin living outside the African continent. That would be us, correct? Oh, okay. They said that was us. All right. And who have been collectively described as constituting the 6th region of the African Union. The African diaspora in the United States is a source of strength and encompasses African Americans, including descendants of enslaved Africans. Saltwater, wooden boats, cheek to cheek, that's us, right? And nearly 2 million African immigrants who have close familial, social, and economic connections to the African continent. African Americans have been the foundational. I couldn't have written a better executive order. Wow, Joe, I thought you was asleep. foundational to strengthening the United States. We have been the foundational. That's how he wrote it. It sounds weird. African Americans have been foundational to strengthening United States African relations and in shaping United States foreign policy towards Africa. I didn't know we had any say in foreign policy, but let's keep reading. And I'm not even going to read this whole thing because I'm going to slide down so that you'll see there's no monetary value to this executive order until I get into what this executive order caused, okay, including by actively advocating on the African continent's behalf, even as they struggle for civil rights in the United States. Let me read that again. African Americans have been foundational to strengthening United States Africa relation and in shaping United States foreign policy towards Africa, including by actively advocating on the African continent's behalf, even as they struggle for civil rights in the United States. The African immigrant community continues to make significant contribution to America's growth and prosperity. The United States government encourages efforts to advance equality and opportunity for the African diaspora in the United States and will continue to encourage efforts to strengthen cultural, social, political, economic ties between African communities, the global African diaspora, and the United States. August 2022, my administration released the U.S. strategy towards sub-Saharan Africa, which outlines the foreign policy's objective to bolster relationships with West African nations, listen to diverse local voices, and widen the circle of engagement to advance our strategic objectives for the benefits of both Africans and Americans. Okay. Establishment of the President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States. Within 180 days of the date of this order, the Secretary of State shall establish the President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States Advisory Council within the Department of State. Membership. The Advisory Council shall consist of not more than 12 members appointed by the Secretary of State who are representatives of and reflect the diversity of the African diaspora and African American and African immigrant communities, including individuals who have distinguished themselves in government, sports, creative industries, business, academia, social work, and faith-based activities. Appointments to the Advisory Council shall be made without regard to political affiliation. Okay, if you have a photogenic memory, I'm just going to scroll up so you can see the rest. APNSA, President for National Security Affairs, President for Domestic Policy, Sub-Saharan Africa. Some shit should just pop out at you. APNSA, APDP, Domestic Policy, nothing about niggas yet, African Diaspora, Young African Leaders. Oh, let's read this part. Programs and initiatives to strengthen cultural, social, political, and economic ties between African communities, the global African diaspora, and the United States, such as Young African Leaders Initiative, and address challenges and opportunities to advance inclusion, belonging, and public awareness of the diversity, accomplishments, culture, and history of the African diaspora. That's what this executive order is about. Mind you, at the top, the first paragraph, they got niggas in there. Just niggas. They've been the foundation of America. They fought over here. They fought over there. Here's another tier. Programs and initiatives such as Prosper Africa to increase participation of members of the African diaspora in the United States with regards to trade, investments, economic growth, and development programs relating to Africa. Oh, hang on, guys. It gets way better. Please share the live, guys. Please. I see I have a African in here. Yes, please share the live and give me some of that money y'all just got. Oh, wow. I see why y'all talk so much online. I see why. I see why. I'm just scrolling, guys. I'm just scrolling so those of you with photographic memory can see some of this stuff. Let me know when you see yourselves. There's Joe Biden's signature. So we're done with this executive order. Now let's show what the executive order actually is. Look at it. Wait, let's go all the way to the top. President's Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement. This is what I just read. Does y'all remember me hearing those words? Okay. The African Diaspora Young Leaders Forum, December 13th, 2022. Here's the executive order right here. This is where I copied it from. I've copied it from right here, guys. African Diaspora Engagement in the United States, PAC, ADE, PAC/ADE. President Biden signed Executive Order 14089, directing the Secretary of State to establish PAC/ADE, which will enhance the dialogue. Okay? It says dialogue. That's all y'all supposed to do, dialogue, right? And that's the advisory board right there with Kamala Harris. Right there, guys. No niggas. This was the swearing in ceremony. Vice President Kamala Harris, with members of the President's Advisory Board Council on African Diaspora Engagement. Vice President Harris greets members and poses for a group photo with the President Advisory Council Board on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States, Monday, October 30th, 2023, after a swearing-in ceremony in the Indian Treaty Room of the Eisenhower Executive Office Building at the White House. That's the first thing that offended me. Out of all the places, you go into the Indian Treaty Room because you know you finna do some bullshit. You put black folks, niggas, coloreds, darkies of America, who's the foundation to the strength of America. You put us in the executive order, first paragraph, right? And then everything after that became African. No Negroes in the picture because I got all their names. It's a first generation. You had the swearing-in ceremony in the Indian Treaty Room. Couldn't find no other place at the White House to do it. But you did that because you had already tied us into the situation. So this further supposed to tie us into the situation, right? Because if they read this 50 years from now, they know Negroes, coloreds, darkies were the dark-skinned indigenous people over here. They know that part. Okay. They know that part. But they read this 50 years from now, they'll think, oh yeah, that was them. That was my auntie and them. Yeah, they been from here. You see, they had it in the Indian Treaty Room. That's where they signed the treaty. Okay, let's just keep going. You get it. December 14th, 2024. Fact sheet celebrating U.S.-Africa partnership 2 years after the 2022 U.S. African Leaders Summit. In the 2 years, this, guys, calculator crew, are you here? Calculator crew, are you here? Do I have some people with calculators? Calculadora, if you a Spanish-speaking Negro. Let me see. Do I need you here? I probably need you on both of these pages. Especially now. In the 2 years since the December 2022 U.S. Africa Leadership Summit, the Biden-Harris administration significantly expanded engagement and partnership with African nations. See, that's not what it initially said in the first paragraph. It said, y'all was going to do that. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, it had niggas in the first paragraph of the actual executive. Okay. All right. Strengthened, significantly expanded engagement and partnership with the African nation, driven by the conviction that the future of Africa and the United States depend on what we can achieve together. At the summit, the United States pledged to invest 55 billion in Africa over 3 years. Get your calculator, put in 53 billion. Cause it don't stop here. Put in 53 billion. It didn't say nothing about Black Americans like the first paragraph of the executive order. The first paragraph of the executive order said it. African Americans. We're doing this because African Americans are the pillars of strength in the United States. They fought over here and over there and everywhere for everybody. But then when the money come up, at the summit, the United States pledged to invest 55 billion in Africa over 3 years. This does not include the U.S. aid that Nigerian doctors received. This does not include the U.S. aid that Nigerian entertainers received. This does not include the U.S. aid that Nigerian scientists received. And those figures were also in the billions. They got 2.2 billion. Nigerian doctors alone got 2.2 billion in a 2-year span. That one scientist got what, 55 million? Because she was supposed to be developing an AIDS vaccine, knowing that there's one that's already developed by Bill Gates. Put 55 billion in your calculators, please. We have surpassed that goal. The administration has committed and spent over 65 billion in Africa since the summer. That's a 2-year span. Now we at additional 65 billion in a 2-year span, guys. Please click like in here. I don't have enough likes in here. Where are all the Africans? Where are all the African diaspora people? Where are they all when you need them? What? All these African diaspora channels and shit I see on YouTube, everybody talk Pan-African. You know, they have recently switched over to being, oh yeah, we are from America. However, some of us are from Africa. The reason they toe the line like that, guys, is people are getting paid big bucks to toe the line. Big bucks to toe the line, guys. Big bucks. 65 billion in a 2-year span, guys. Wow. These investments have enabled the administration, together with African partners. Wowzers, guys. I thought this was okay. These investments have enabled the administration, together with our African partners, to accelerate development processing, advance transcontinental infrastructure. They're not talking about transatlantic slave trade, baby. They're talking about trans-African continental. That's what they're talking about. In fact, the diaspora is actually continental. It's inside of Africa. See, they just did a little bait and switch there with the definition to make it seem like, oh, this is for us and the people across the water, knowing the whole time they meant just inside. A lot of first generation YouTubers posing as if they're us. They even use the term FBA sometimes. Know it damn well, fully well. These investments have enabled the administration, together with African partners, to accelerate development programs, advance transcontinental infrastructure, expand trade and economic opportunities, and support African-led efforts on conversation. Tag the YouTubers. Climate adaptation and a just energy transition. Whatever the fuck that means. But the achievements go beyond numbers, underpinning by our belief that solving global challenges requires African leadership and African partnership. The United States championed and ultimately helped secure, guys, get this, the African Union's permanent membership in the G20, and announced our support for creating 2 permanent UN Security Secretary Council seats for Africa. The picture that I saw from when I was researching the Essence magazine people, the Essence Venture person, and I said, well, damn, how did they get to sit at the UN? And that's what led me to, you get to go to the G20 summit. The executive order had us in it. Did one American get to go? Niggas ain't never been to nothing like that. You guys treating us like we was the ones raised in the village. It's probably because we're online discussing our grievances. You look at us as if, well, look at them. They're uneducated. I have a science degree. I know many others who are well-degreed and very smart, well-educated, who get on here and, talk about our grievances as well. Then y'all look at us like, oh, that's such an uneducated take. I tell you, education. I got your education. Y'all niggas got $65 billion in a 2-year time span. Of course, you can get online and see all that bullshit about education. But let's be clear. I don't know how you're smarter than me. I don't know how you're more well-educated than I am if you were raised in a village. There is no way Biden and Harris gave $65 million to these people. We're not, I still need, keep your calculators out. Because keep your calculators out. The G summit, the G20 summit and the UN seat is more valuable than all this. Do you know why? Let's go back to the show that I did on the Essence Festival. The $1 trillion spending power that they're using as if it's them. When you go to places like the G20 summit and you get to sit on the UN Security Council board, you get to then negotiate. Say, look, my demographic has a 1.5 trillion spending budget. Let's see how we can work together. On trade, we have lots of business owners, lots of talented people. Let's see how we can work together for trade. And then the people at the G Summit conference in the other nations like, wow, 1.5 trillion spending power. Yeah, let's work together. Now you all with Russia. Now you all with Kazakhstan. And now you with the Indians. And now y'all done upgraded your wigs. Because they think y'all got 1.4 in spending power. And they give y'all in exchange for Okay, I see how it went. But instead of sending American businesses, you send Mfufu business. But that's not what the executive order, it didn't say it was just because they didn't even have to put us in there if you wasn't going to add us to it. Please click like in here, guys. Please share the live. Because see, some people got to be held accountable. I know damn well. I know YouTube does not pay enough money to no black content creators to drive certain cars. I'm going to just say that. I know that for a fact. That money is coming from somewhere. You're not a full-time YouTuber and black. You're not PewDiePie. You're not any of those big white YouTubers. Yeah, they got enough money to afford to buy Bentleys and shit just off of YouTube shit. Not one black person in the history of YouTube has made that amount of money. Not one. The girl that I know who had a Bentley, it was leased. She made a lot of money on YouTube in the beauty sector because she had sponsorships. You mean to tell me it's YouTube? She had big sponsorships. Every big sponsorship you can think of, she had it. That was the beauty sector. You talking about a YouTuber in a black section talking about history and things that happen to our community and stuff that goes on in Africa and stuff that goes on in the Caribbean. Y'all not making that money. I can tell you that right now. Because no sponsorships are coming your way. So you have to get the money from some other place, and you're not getting millions of dollars in super chat either. Let's continue reading. Since the summit, I hope you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. I have seen project after project after project, project after project after project from people who are talking on YouTube. I'm shadow banned to fucking hell. They're just all outside. Got another project coming, guys. Since the summit, we have laid out a vision alongside Kenya to help develop countries facing mounting debt burdens. Well, damn, I thought the Negroes in America had student loan debt. Told us to pull ourselves up by your bootstraps. And you said, wow, we see you over there, Kenya. You're dealing with a little bitty debt. Here we come. Whoa. Our partnership enhance food security and help build more sustainable and resilient food systems. Is these same people that's on TikTok right now? Is this these same people that just talk about some jambalaya versus jollof? We just gave you money for food. No way we're still giving you money. We gave you money for food when I was a kid. Now we still giving you money for food. There's no way we're mentioning giving money to Africa for food. Improved governance. I'm sorry to yell, y'all. Let me pipe down. I have been mad since I discovered this. I ain't even gonna hold you. I've been mad since how the fuck did this nigga get to sit with the UN? Wait a minute. Wow. Our partnerships enhance food security, blah, blah, blah. Improved governments and security and advance shared public health goals. We catalyze landmark diaspora-driven engagement, foster an inclusion and resilient African digital ecosystems, and made strides to promote gender equality and women's empowerment. What the fuck does that got to do with the Negroes in America who you put in the first paragraph of the executive order? We catalyze landmark diaspora-driven engagement. Are you talking about these niggas going back and forth with us on TikTok and YouTube and all of social media? Every time they find out we created something, then they coming back talk about what they created. Is this the money that was put behind engagement? I think I found the treasure trove, guys. Please click like. Please share the live. We have been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray. High-level engagements. Through the Biden-Harris administration, President Biden has prioritized high-level engagement with African countries and partners. Following the U.S.-Africa Leadership Summit in 2022, President Biden directed an unprecedented pace of senior-level U.S. government visits to the continent. 20 cabinet members and leaders of U.S. government departments and agencies have visited the region since the summit, with visits centered on deepening partnerships with African countries, institutions, and people. In March, April 2023, President Harris visited Ghana, Tanzania, and Zambia, which she announced more than $8 billion in public and private sector investments committed towards climate and food. Why was there ever a jollof versus jambalaya any motherfucking thing? You think the Biden administration went down to Louisiana and dropped off rice? If you think that, I'm here to tell you they didn't. Niggas had to buy their own rice. Okay, let's keep. May 2024, President Biden then hosted President Ruto of Kenya for a state visit and dinner. The first state visit of an African head of state since 2008. During the visit, which highlighted 60 years of official U.S.-Kenyan partnership, President Biden announced a slew of deliverables to improve economic opportunities for both our people. Strengthening democratic resilience. Keep that in your pocket. Keep that in your pocket. Strengthening democratic resilience and safeguard human rights and bolster our work together on a range of pressing issues, including climate and health. Keep in mind, May 2024 is the height of political season. And guess who was online going back and forth with anybody who says any kind of remote criticism about the Democratic Party? Like, where did all these people come from? Who is all these people telling us who to vote for? Who are all these people telling us not to ask questions? Who are all of these people telling us not to have an opinion? Look at are these bots? What's going on? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember during the political season how we were all but harassed for talking about politics online? Do y'all remember? Not the people in the land of the free. Y'all don't remember us being harassed? Yeah, look at this. Now you see it. In December 2024, President Biden traveled to the continent, being the first ever U.S. president to visit Angola and the first sitting president to visit sub-Saharan Africa since 2015. During the visit, President Biden spoke about the past horrors of slavery. Guys, he spoke about slavery. Mind you, at the same time, the Negroes in America are asking for reparations, most of which are asking specifically reparations for slavery. If you're on my side of the table, you're asking for reparations for the theft of all this goddamn land you stole, and mineral rights, and royalty payments that you stole, the heir's property. Okay, we're asking for money for the heir's property that you just swiped up. That's what we're at. But fine. However we get it is however we get it. So the group of people was asking money for slavery. Look, guys. During the visit, President Biden spoke about the past horrors of slavery and its legacy while welcoming a bright future of deepening collaborations between the United States and the continent. He announced more than $1 billion in additional humanitarian funding. Wowzers, guys. In addition to, whoa, funding and co-hosted a summit on the Lobido Trans-African Corridor. We got streets out here that could be fixed. Underscoring the importance of private sector investments, guys. Inclusive economic growth and sustainable development. 1 year earlier, President Biden had hosted President Lourenço of Angola for an Oval Office meeting. President Biden's historic trip to Angola topped off significant engagement with the continent through the Biden-Harris administration. Trade and investments. The administration harnessed the dynamicism of people from across the African continent and through the United States to expand prosperity on both sides of the Atlantic. Y'all tell me when you hear something about us, okay? They said both sides of the Atlantic. In the past 2 years, the United States have supported and helped close to 1,385 new deals for a total estimate of $62.6 billion in new two-way trade and investment. Whew. And I ain't even halfway through this. God. two-way trade investment between the United States and African countries. This represents more than five-fold increase in the value of closed deals over the 2 years preceding the summit. Illustrative highlights of these trade and investment initiatives include the U.S. International Development Finance Corporation, DFC, has invested over $13 billion in more than 300 projects across 36 countries in Africa. Since the summit, DFC has committed over $5.3 billion to new projects in Africa in key sectors such as energy, healthcare, infrastructure, mineral resources, and support for small businesses. Don't worry, guys, in America, if you have a small business, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, bitch. That's why you get shoestrings. We put this nice Walmart up here for you to go buy you some shoestrings and pay the taxes on the shoestrings so we can send the $13 billion to Africa to help 300 projects in 36 countries. So they can get online and talk to you about what you don't have and what they have. And how they come to America and outdo you, bitch. You probably did if you came over here a millionaire motherfucking ready. I bet you did outpace some black Americans. Let's talk about it. If you got a free doctorate degree, and this don't even include the free doctorate degrees, guys. Let's. I want to keep making that clear. Please click like in here. If you got a free doctorate degree and you get a salary afterwards, I bet you did outpace a few niggas. If you get paid to talk on the internet, I'm not shocked that you outpaced a few. You niggas got an unlimited piggy bank with the United States of America, and you put us in it in order to get the deal done, knowing full fucking well we wasn't going to get none of the cut. Let's keep reading. Since the summit, the U.S. Trade and Development Agency, USTDA, has funded 24 projects, preparation activities to advance and implementation of over $7 billion in digital connectivity, clean energy, and healthcare infrastructure projects on the continent of Africa. This have you seen yourself in here yet, guys? Just keep listening. In 2024, USTDA arranged 10 reverse trade missions and workshops focused on regulatory convergence for healthcare products, transportation, green hydrogen development, cybersecurity, the bot farms, cybersecurity, methane abatement, and sustainable energy, connecting African public and private sector representatives with the latest U.S. technology, service, and financing solutions. So that they get the CIA technology too, that they get the Department of since 2022. This is where it get good, guys. No. Cause wait, y'all, wait. This is where it gets good. Share the live. Oh, this is where it gets good. Since 2022, the Export-Import Bank of the United States, EXIM, has strengthened partnerships across Africa, approving approximately $4 billion in authorization for sub-Saharan Africa. This includes transactions across a wide variety of sectors, including two of the largest renewable energy projects in EXIM history: aircrafts, civil work infrastructure, and radio equipment. In the fiscal year 2023, the EXIM board of directors approved $281 million transaction to support an export of several Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircrafts to Ethiopia airline groups. What? Wait a minute. Wait. This one, I'm telling you. We finna talk about niggas. Finally. Finally! Finally. Several Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircrafts to Ethiopian Airlines Group. Y'all niggas don't even own your own airplanes. I see Ethiopian Airlines all the time. Y'all don't even own your own. And our taxes, the money that we paid for them tater chips and that chicken in the grocery store gave you. Okay, this transaction supported 1,600 U.S. jobs in Indiana, North Carolina, and Washington. There you go, niggas. They got the airplanes. Guys. 1,600 jobs we gave to the community. We didn't say that it was specifically for niggas, but because it was done in the United States of niggas, the United States of Black Americans, coloreds, Negroes, darkies, the ones who we stole the land from, so the aircrafts can be made in the first place. We got to make sure we give them a 1,600 jobs. We're just gonna make sure we write down 1,600 jobs. We don't know who all live the fuck in Indiana. We didn't put no marketing out saying, niggas, we did a executive order just for you guys, you and the Africans across the country, 1,600 jobs available. Please come get them. Niggas didn't get no email. We didn't get no notification that the jobs were available. You just put the shit out there, or did it? Or did you? Because maybe the people who was already working at these companies who make airplanes all the fuck ready just got a new contract, bitch. You didn't hire 1,600 no motherfucking body. Unless they just came straight out of aviation school and you hired the kids out of aviation school. You can't hire no rando off the street to build no airplanes, can you? No, but I gave y'all a bone, Negroes. We put 1,600 jobs in the U.S., in Indiana, North Carolina, and Washington. Congrats, niggas who live in those 3 states. You got your reparations. The people who are on the calculators of our calculators in the chat, where are you as it relates to numbers? Where are we so far as it relates to numbers? Where are we so far? And this is not even over. Guys. I just hate to tell you, I got more reading to do. I have turned this show into Reading Rainbow. I'm just as shocked as you are to find out these some bitches got so much money. We're the ones who act. We're the ones who got nothing. Wow. In fiscal year 2024, the EXIM Board of Directors approved an additional transaction of more than $456 million for Ethiopian Airlines. Wow. For the purchase of 5 Boeing aircrafts, supporting an estimate of 2,200 new U.S. jobs in North Carolina, Ohio, and Washington. And again, unless you're hiring students straight out of aviation school, who the fuck building the aircrafts? So why putting 2,200 jobs in here as if you gave it to the Negroes of America? As if you gave it to the African Americans who rode on the bottom of the boat, so you say. I remember reading the book that said it calls for Indians to do 1 or 2 things. We only had 1 or 2 options over here: assimilate or be exterminated. I have the book on my computer. Please don't make me drop the files for everybody in the fucking chat. Old ass book from the 1800s, bitch. Still in the United States government file. I got it off a government website. Assimilate or exterminate, bitch. For what? Wow. What options did you give us, colonizers, to get any motherfucking thing in this life, and then sit here and talk bad about us online, and then think you finna target somebody for speaking out? You think the ancestors like you? Do you think the ancestors like you? Since 2022, the Millennium Challenge Corporation, MCC, has invested almost $2.4 billion through agreements with African partners. who have demonstrated their commitment to good governance, democratic values, guys, not you Negroes who teeter-totter and want it straight down the middle. Sometimes you have Republican conservative values, and other times you have democratic green energy values. Climate change, although you're building all these motherfucking airplanes, I don't get it. Same party that talk about climate change, building all these goddamn airplanes. The send to Ethiopia. If you was about climate change, you niggas still be on wooden boats traveling. Niggas don't give a fuck about climate change. I could tell you which climate change you give a damn about. I think I'm going to tell you. I think that's what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you which one. All right. 2.4 billion. Calculate. The people who are calculating, please keep us updated with the numbers. All right. Through agreement with African partner countries who have demonstrated their commitment to good governance, democratic values, and investing in their people, funding and expanding energy markets, furthering private sector energy generation, enhancing farmer supply chain integration, and improving education access to increase long-term employment opportunities. Didn't I just tell y'all the other day? These niggas didn't have no food or schools. I told y'all, these same people online telling us about the Essence Festival and we're not trying, why would y'all think we trying to take y'all culture and all that? And I said, what the fuck is these niggas talking so much, so loud to us for? As if we wasn't just over there building y'all schools the other day. You got my 5 cents a day from me as a kid and still getting my 5 cents today. I don't want anybody to talk nothing to me. Prosper Africa now. First paragraph of the executive order said it was about the African diaspora. And by definition, mind you, this is an African diaspora executive order that I'm reading for those who came in late. You haven't heard anything about now by definition, diaspora. You got 2 definitions of diaspora. And that's really how the whole bait and switch shit happened. One definition of diaspora means people who left forcibly, who got forcibly pushed off into another place. That they become the diaspora to the connecting continent that they left or got forcibly removed from. And the other diaspora is just people within the continent. See, you putting us in the front of the executive order saying that there was a group of Africans who came to America through the civil rights movement, fought for both Africa and America. You talk about those of us who aunties and uncles wore afros and was fighting for everybody to be able to come over here. See, this was before Nigeria was even the fuck created. You talking about those of us whose grandparents was out there with the fist in the air. You're talking about those of us who was fighting so y'all could stop redlining us off our own fucking heirs' property. That's what you're talking about in that first paragraph. But then right here, Prosper Africa funded and supported several initiatives to boost two-way trade and investments for key markets in Kenya, South Africa, and Morocco. Them South African people were just going back and forth with people from New Orleans just earlier this year. Moroccans come over here with the Moorish shit, putting all that bullshit in people's head. All getting paid to do it. Telling you don't need a license to drive. Telling you to give up your American citizenship. Because they the consulate for Morocco and you had a peace and treaty friendship agreement and you get to be Moroccan the fuck citizens and you need to give up your passport and take give up your citizenship, renounce your citizenship. Turn in your license. Then they take that shit, give that identity to somebody else. Now you fucked. No way we helping these people. To include Why Africa road show in New York, San Francisco, and Chicago to launch Atlanta Fam Billy. What the fuck is that? I don't just live in Atlanta. I'm deep in the culture. The fuck is that? They did Why Africa Why road show in New York, San Francisco, and Chicago, and launched Atlanta Fam Billy with South African businesses and government leaders in Atlanta. I wish I'd have known about that shit. But be glad I ain't know. This is the United States government. This is not no random shit. This is actually a presidential executive order, guys. I wonder, did the mayor even know about this shit? Now, what have we done for black business owners? Negroes, coloreds? Because last I checked, we going in the bank and getting declined for business loans. Not to mention the few scammers that's online that's trying to tell you this is how you get a Navy Federal. These motherfuckers is paid to do that too. They scammers. They first generation Africans. Trust me. This is how you go get a Navy Federal loan. This is the hack. None of that just should get you sent straight to fucking jail. They know it. Fam Billy. Okay, whatever. And the U.S. Morocco Venture Capital Forum. Prosper Africa also provided technical assistance to Togo-based Kasi Regional Refinancement Carry, supporting a $275 million housing deal with Bank of America. We can't even get business loans at Bank of America if you're a Negro. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Go ask any Negro business owner, baby. Have they ever went into Bank of America and got a business loan? Why do you think so many lawsuits have been filed with both Bank of America and Wells Fargo for discriminating? Too many of us went in there with perfect business scores, perfect business credit scores, amazing personal credit scores, working in the black, and still got declined. But Togo, who we don't even never, what the fuck? I don't even know where is Togo. What's the flag? Togo got $275 million. All right. At the summit, guys, I'm just on number 7. At the summit, Prosper Africa announced a catalytic investment facility. Which provides first loss and operational funding support to 10 African asset managers to mobilize $600 million from private investors to deploy into African tech startups. Like, you don't know it's the Negroes of America over here with the inventions. What the fuck are we playing at this point? It's giving body snatchers at this point. It's giving, at this point, they have completely tethered. What's the last African tech the fuck product came out? I'm sorry, we got a black American over here in Atlanta turning motherfucking plastic into oil. Reverse engineering plastic and got his family pulling up getting gas out the fucking backyard. Didn't give him a goddamn penny. In fact, he got targeted. He went to his car and all the lug nuts were screwed off the goddamn tires. Boy could have died on the highway. Not only that, he had people following him the whole time waiting for him to die. You would think you would put military around this boy or some shit in case America gives out a gas. This nigga know how to make it. Get the plastic bottles, take it to that boy. Get all the plastic bottles you can find. Take it to him, lady, because we running out of gas supply over here in America. You would think you would get him $600 million. The Africans didn't even know how to build an infrastructure for their septic systems. Shit. They couldn't even do that. We had black American men building whole railroads. You don't think they need some money? You don't think if they had a chance at a $600 million pot, what they'll create? And let me just remind you guys, the first paragraph was about us. To date, $93 million has been raised by the 10 African asset managers and $44 million has been deployed into 61 startups throughout the continent. You didn't have to motherfucking raise $44 million if I gave you $600 million for the damn projects in the first place. So what the fuck did you mean by that? They didn't raise shit. I gave you $600 million. What kind of bait and switch ass shit was that? In 2024, Prosper Africa announced a catalytic pooled fund to drive social investment. So we got a catalytic investment facility and then a catalytic pool fund to drive social investment in partnership with Children's Investment Fund Foundation and in support of African venture philanthropy. The fund aims to pool $200 million of catalytic capital over the next 5 years from Africa to global philanthropies and government donors. The capital is expected to leverage up to $2 billion in private capital. That's why you had them African mercenaries coming through the border. I was like, what the fuck did they get money from to goddamn come way over here? You don't get money, nigga, just on a day-to-day basis. How y'all get some more money to come over here? You came through the Mexican border with your suitcase and then the whole group of them ended up in Atlanta. Like, what the fuck? Who is all them? Them son of a bitches getting off them buses. They dropped them off in the ghetto. They dropped them off on the wrong side of Atlanta because them niggas ran them right on up out of there. Dropped them off on the wrong side. Prosper Africa provided $1.275 million grant to the Liquidity and Sustainability Facility. faculty to cover operational costs of LSF work enhancing trading liquidity for African countries and lowering the cost of financing. LSF builds free and transparent capital markets in Africa and provides investments with investable benchmark for evaluating the performance of African sovereign debt instruments, such as IBOX LSF USD African Sovereign Index in conjunction with Standards and Poor's. The Small Business Administration, SBA, provided 34 small businesses with export financing that supported approximately $185.7 million in export sales involving the African continent. This shit right here is wild. Mind you, if Negroes, coloreds, hell, even white businesses, you go try to submit and get some SBA financing. They gonna make you you gotta submit packages this damn thick with every transaction ever Even the transactions that you haven't even thought about. Nigga, you want my birth certificates? Oh, right, damn, Social Security got what they got to do with? I got to get you with my mama's birth certificate too. Why? All right, I got to get the money. So, and you still don't fucking get it. SBA supported approximately 185.7 million in export sales involving the African continent from December 2023 to October 2024. That ain't even a full year. Building on the SBA administrator's visit to Cote d'Ivoire, and Togo in 2023. SBA also undertook new activities in 2024 to connect members of the African diaspora in the United States with businesses in both continents. I guarantee you, only people who got that was immigrants. I guarantee you. Not even Caribbean immigrants, bitch. African immigrants. Why the Caribbeans always trying to, side with them and be their friend, be chummy and shit. How much money did y'all get? They got money to talk shit online like that, clearly. You over here with us, like we told you you were. Better know what side you're on. November 2023 and July 2024, President Biden reiterated his long support for the reauthorization and modernization of African Growth and Opportunity, aka AGOA, to deepen trade between the United States and Africa, strengthen regional integration, and realize Africa's immense economic potential. In 2023, AGOA imports total 9.7 billion and support tens of thousands of jobs in the United States and Africa. Now you want to put the United States up in there. But the only thing that you had done for the United States was the people who build airplanes. They got a new contract. That company got a new contract to build some airplanes for Ethiopian Airlines so that Ethiopian Airlines could overcharge all their people, not knowing the money came from the American government via the tax-paying citizens and the niggas who have heirs property whose royalties aren't being paid out to the family but are being spent by you. Infrastructure. Please click like and here. Please share the live, guys. I done talked my damn lips off and I talked my face greasy. President Biden's flagship G7 initiative has Partners for Global Infrastructure and Investment, PGI, advances strategic, value-driven, and high-standard infrastructure, investment, and sustainable development in low and middle-class countries. I should have said counties if this was really a diaspora, right? Because all the shit I just read above was for the country. We ain't got to the counties of America yet. Wow. All right. Low and middle income countries with Africa as the key continent of focus. That's the same shit we read in the essence. Okay. At the G7 summit in June. Niggas do not get to go to any of these G7 summits, G7, G20, none of them. Leaders celebrated progress towards PGI's ambitious goal of mobilizing 600 billion by 2027. People with the calculator, I hope I'm not stressing you out too much. Those of you who have the calculadoras, what total are you at now? Can you give us an update? All ye with calculators, everybody who told us that they'll do the calculations. 600 billion. An ambitious goal. That's their goal, guys. 600 billion. We asked for reparations. Ain't got a penny yet. We just get a whole lot of shit talked about us, about what we create, what we don't need to be online, talk about what we need to do, how we need to dress, how we need to look, da 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 da. We don't know where we come from. We don't have no culture. We don't have this. We don't have that. We let them tell it. We didn't even invent frying chicken. We didn't even invent sweet potatoes. We didn't even farm sweet potatoes. It came from Africa. Let them tell it. Jollof rice was a descendant. Jambalaya is a descendant of jollof rice. Their actual words, bitch. Jambalaya is a descendant of jollof rice, but we're still giving you money for food. See, it sounds cute when you say that shit online, but when you pull up the actual government files, you're telling a lie. $600 billion. Where am I? Where did I stop? 2027 in global infrastructure investment that will make a difference in people's lives around the world, strengthen and diversify our supply chains, and advancement shared national security interests. That's probably us. He probably talking about us. We probably are damn sure their national security interests. During his historic trip to Angola, December 2nd through 4th, President Biden co-hosted a summit on the Lobito Trans-African Corridor, bringing together leaders from the Democratic Republic of Congo, Tanzania, Zambia, as well as African finance corporations. I thought it was about us all. Ain't nobody you didn't know Negroes from the diaspora in America come here. Y'all didn't even invite nobody from the diaspora in the Caribbean. I thought it was about us. Leaders affirmed their commitment in investing in infrastructure that will one day connect the Atlantic and Indian Oceans to expand economic growth and sustainable development across the region. Okay. Conversations, climate adaptation, and just energy. I should have bought me something to drink up here. My throat dry. We're talking about all the money we just gave away when we were the one that actually asked for it, so we could try to at least bridge the economic gap over here, so we won't fall down to zero. Because they actually projected that our wealth will fall to zero by 2050, and then you would think they would invest something to stop that from happening. Because Kamala was so fucking black when she was running, making collard greens with the bacon in it. But everybody knew, because the top wealth advisors, Yahoo Finance, Bloomberg, all of these people said the Black Americans' wealth is going to fall to zero by 2050. What are you going to do? Let's make some investments into the diaspora. How much are we gonna give to Black Americans? Because they're actually asking for it. They really need it. They just got hammered with planning funerals, for that virus y'all came and put on them and put it strategically in their community. And let's not discuss the amount of Nigerian doctors that was in those fucking hospitals too, and all this was going down and looked like you niggas colluded together. That's a conversation for another show. They have planned a lot of funerals. We should help them. They are the largest demographic in the world who were murdered during COVID, because we know their immune systems are A1, because we have plasma banks in all of their neighborhoods. So we know they're the ones with the shit that we need in order to survive. So we sell their plasma for $30,000 and give them 40 for it, and then kill them. And they have to plan all these funerals during COVID. And let's give the money to Africa, because mind you guys, this is the height of COVID. This is 2022. When we was planning all the fuck funerals for our family, friends who went into hospitals. They didn't let nobody come in the room with them. Y'all remember? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all remember the era. I'm just trying to see who I remember. I can't see my chat right now because of my screen cover. I'll hear it if you put a 1 in the chat. I get the audibles. I just can't read it right now, guys. I just want you guys to remember this is COVID when we're giving all the fuck money away while you're over here masked up thinking you're finna get something from the person, so they need to move 6 feet. These niggas over here balling. I hope you guys haven't went to sleep. This is not over. Let me just keep reading. Let me just try to get through this. Please continue to share the live. It's not over. Many of the countries that are most valuable to climate change are in Africa. The Biden Harris administration has marshaled unprecedented resources to bolster climate resilience and protect development progresses during her 2023 trip to the African continent. Vice President Harris worked with African partners to galvanize more than $7 billion in public and private sector climate adaptation, resilience, and mitigation commitments. Some of the U.S. initiatives to support African-led efforts on climate change, mitigation, adaptation, and just energy transition include: since the summit, that's America, DFC, I don't remember what DFC stands for, but that's something coming from Biden and Harris. DFC has committed over $1.8 billion to new climate-focused projects in Africa and also committed over $520 million across 12 new projects in Africa focused on expanding access to power. Because they power some of the countries, they power go out every day, and then when they power come on, they come on and talk shit to Americans. The first thing they do when they power come back on. Come online, talk shit to Black Americans. Come online, add their opinion to shit that we didn't ask for you the fuck opinion for. They don't come online and say nothing about white people, nothing. They don't come online and say nothing about the white people down there in South Africa who took their land. They don't say nothing to them. Just come online, find something about Black Americans and talk about it. Notably, DFC provided $500 million in political risk insurance to support marine conservation in global Gabon through the Gabon Blue Bonds Project, the first DFC-supported debt conversion for Impact project in Africa. The first DFC-supported debt conversion for Impact project in Africa. In Sierra Leone, DFC provided $412 million in finance and political risk insurance to support the Net Energy Project, a 150 megawatt thermal power plant that's Sierra Leone's first gas to power plant and will double the country's energy capacity. So not only did we pay, those of us who are taxpayers in America, all of us, you bought a firehouse sub today. You sure paid taxes on that. If you bought your kid a Happy Meal or you poured in the Chick-fil-A today, you poured in the Chick-fil-A today, this includes your money. Double the country's energy capacity and address the critical need for Sierra Leone's people access to reliable energy infrastructure. In Mozambique, well, they just going all around the continent dropping a bad bitch. Y'all didn't even do that in America. Y'all just went around from state to state telling us who the fuck to vote for. And telling us some shit about we gonna die if we don't vote against birth. Bitch. Childbirth. That's all you niggas went from state to state talking about childbirth. Kill your children. But you went around country to country dropping bags all over Africa. This shit went unannounced. I wish the news media would have picked this up. In Mozambique, DFC committed $179 million in debt and risk potential insurance to support the development of Central Electrica de Namacha, 120 megawatt wind power project, the country's first utility scale wind power project. In November 2023, while you niggas was planning funerals, Prosper Africa, the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the State Department provided $10 million to seed a $100 million balance sheet under the Green Guarantee Company. The first ever privately run guarantee company devoted to catalyzing green bonds and loan focus on Africa. The fuck is this? GGC is expected to unlock an estimated $1 billion in new private capital for climate finance. But you niggas just built all them airplanes and still talking about climate change. The amount of CO2 that airplanes release is way more than any person can blow out their mouth. Trust me. In September 2024, Prosper Africa announced a $5 million catalytic capital award for Unpacked Global, aimed to mobilize $300 million in private investment for sustainable infrastructure in emerging markets. The award serves as first loss capital designed to reduce investment risk and attract new institutional investors who might otherwise be hesitant to engage in Africa-focused investments. So that's money for marketing. Just so people's eyes can be attached to Africa. The same shit y'all just did at the Essence Festival. Okay. Bolstering Power Africa, USTDA has invested $5 million to support a just energy transition across several African countries. These investments are supporting solar energy generation in Zambia, wind energy generation in Malawi, strengthening the power grid of Cote d'Ivoire, promoting clean energy in South Africa, and supporting climate initiatives through reverse trade missions. At the summit, the Department of Energy announced its intent to develop a case study in partnership with the Ghanaian Ministry of Energy on integrating nuclear and renewable energy systems. Under the Clean Energy Ministry, DOA is leading a 300,000 initiative to evaluate the potential roles for nuclear and renewable energy to support Ghanaian energy needs for both electric and non-electric appliances, bitch. Now they get some stoves for their kitchens, guys. Now they can cook motherfuck jollof. And they ain't got to cook it outside. I ain't totally mad at this. I would have stopped at the 300,000, bitch. But we're at least at $1 trillion right now. I know what the money people. Can y'all please click like in here? I don't know how many people in the chat, but please click like, because you already know they clicking thumb down. They hate it. They trying to ban it. I had problems even connecting. Didn't want me to talk about it. I was like, I know I shouldn't have announced what I was going to talk about today. I should have just came on and talked about it. Then I wouldn't have had no connectivity issues. Ghanaian energy needs for both electric and non-electric appliances. DOE, Department of Energy, and Ghana has launched Africa's first regional clean energy training center for Accura Ghana, providing courses on large and small modular reactors, financing, contract structures, risk management, and legal issues. What legal issues are you going to need help with? Department of Energy is working with Mozambique on methane mitigation from the gas sector and clean hydrogen development, with Kenya on a $250,000 project to examine opportunities for direct air capture combined with geothermal energy, with Nigeria on a $250,000 study. Just a study, bitch. I'm going to give y'all $250 just to study. Supporting the regulatory framework with carbon management, and with Morocco on solar energy. Department of Energy, DOE, and the Moroccan Research Institute in Solar Energy and the New Energies hosted a solar decathlon design challenge for collegiate teams from across Africa and around the world to design buildings powered by renewable energy. Under its climate change and health initiatives, the National Institute of Health. I mean, we just taking every government, bitch. We taking everything over there. Now I'm at the. Somebody gave me a thumbs down. You must be the one who benefited from this. Cause last I checked, the NIH, that was Fauci's NIH. The NIH was the one who told niggas to take the vax. They're the ones. They're the ones. This was Fauci's NIH. Be ye not deceived. This was Fauci's NIH. The NIH established exploratory research centers for bringing together scientists, wow, to work with affected communities and build resilience and adapt to climate-driven stressors. The fuck do you think we don't think we need that? Three of the centers have focus areas in Kenya, Madagascar, South Africa, Tanzania, Uganda, and Zimbabwe. These centers are conducting research on early warning models for vector-borne disease and effects of extreme weather events on mental health and interpersonal violence, and plot solutions for climate risk to human health. At the summit, the Department of State announced accelerating women's empowerment, guys. Wow. Women's empowerment project to help secure women's economic futures through green jobs. They was doing this for the women in Africa, and then our women got over here getting laid off. Since then, the State Department launched AWEE with an initial investment of $1 million. The project has funded 11 small grants to local organizations in South Africa and Kenya to address barriers in entry, promotion, and retention of women in each country's clean energy sector. Promoting food security and resilient food systems. At the summit, Biden launched the U.S.-African Union Strategic Partnership to accelerate process in tackling food insecurity, build strong and more diversified food systems and supply chains, scale Africa's agriculture production capacity, and expand Africa countries' access to agriculture markets. Since the launch of the partnership, we have aligned our food security assistance and programming and leveraged our conveying power and partnerships, including the PGI, to build sustainable food systems, expand investments in agriculture infrastructure, and tackle trade policy reform. You know what? We had a theory that when some government wants to expand in agriculture, they want a specific country to grow something on their behalf. They don't bring millions of people from another country over to the new country to farm their new agriculture products. They don't do that. They just go to the country, drop the money down. This what we want to farm. This is how much money it costs to farm. And you get the workers. It's enough of y'all niggas over here to farm it. We gonna pay y'all to do it. That's how it's been done since the beginning of time. So with us, guys, we're the boat riders. We rode at the bottom of a boat from another country to come to this country to plant shit. So they tell it. And here we are in 2025, and these niggas in Africa are just learning how to plant shit. I thought they were our ancestors. Then they said it was our ancestors. How y'all just learning how to do agriculture? How are y'all just having the capability? How are y'all just doing this? It was almost 1 million Negro farmers top of the 1900s. Before all the land was taken from us. 947,000 to be exact. And those were just the ones who were counted. Some Negroes didn't even like for the census to come around to their house. They ain't like talking to them people. I ain't finna sit here and tell you what I got and how much of it I got. But you had the opportunity to count 947,000 Negro farmers farming all kinds of stuff, including oil. That was a farming product. according to these money transactions here, Africa is just getting the capability to do agriculture. And I believe it because they don't have enough running water. They don't have the infrastructure. Never did. Never had the infrastructure. They don't have a sewer system. They don't even have a sewer system. I know they don't have an irrigation system. Probably some of them have it from the money that we gave them in the 90s and the 80s when they started calling us African to do the whole body snatchers movement that they clearly have been doing this whole time. Since fiscal year 2022, the United States provided nearly $20 billion in life-saving humanitarian assistance and early recovery, risk reduction, and resilience programs in Africa. 2022, guys, remember how many funerals was playing in 2022 in America? And they got $20 billion in life-saving humanitarian assistance. We didn't get not a motherfucking penny to help plan our funerals. This is everybody who pray. This is what you go to God for tonight. This is what you call the ancestors who died. This is what you call and tell them today. This is what you call and tell them today. Baby, we put everything we had to plan your funeral, baby. We put everything we had together. Because the insurance wasn't even paying out during COVID. The insurance wouldn't even pay for some of these funerals during COVID. That's the part they don't want to talk about. You put families in the strain here in America. You don't think that was some humanitarian shit you needed to come and help us with? Disgusting. Y'all, they got $20 billion just for that. They got $20 billion just for that. $20 billion in life-saving humanitarian assistance and early recovery, risk reductions, and resilient programming in Africa. Humanitarian assistance address acute food insecurity caused by conflicts, including Russia's war in Ukraine, and natural disasters, including climate shocks, impacting millions of people across the African continent. I thought in that first paragraph, this was about niggas. I thought this was about the African diaspora. Wow. In 2023, MCC has committed over $1.6 billion toward food insecurity initiatives through newly signed and launched programs. These projects are boosting farm productivity, guys, farm productivity, and increasing rural incomes by investing in better irrigation. I just said that, didn't I? I just said they didn't have irrigation. I just said it before I read it. I just said that. Niggas didn't even have irrigation. But we're they the ones taught us everything about agriculture and then put us on the boat, sent us up here. We built an agriculture empire so much so that this place was called the United States of Culture because everybody had to come up here for food and look like they're still coming up here for food today. Committed $1.6 billion toward food insecurity initiatives through newly signed and launched programs. These programs are boosting farm productivity and increase rural incomes by investing for better irrigation methods, increasing production of high-value crops. I'd be damn. And improving road conditions. During his historic trip to Angola, please click like here, guys. Please share the live. Baby. Please share the live. If you are new to this channel, baby, this is Unpacked. We are not new to this. This is our backup page. We have been deplatformed from everywhere, bitch. We just have to keep building them. And it's not due to the slips of profanity that you hear. It's due to me unpacking stuff like this. You haven't seen a content creator shadow ban unless you come over here. And you really see shadow ban. There's people in this chat have seen me. They cut my live stream down mid-sentence. Was doing this all throughout COVID because I am a scientist and I was able to break a lot of this stuff down scientifically. They didn't like it. I was stopping too many people's bags. Then I started talking about the land and mixing it in with the land, saying, hey, this is a reason that they will take us out to get the land. Guys, put two and two together. We were unpacking it. We're the unpackers over here. We're the reason that you hear people now say, let's unpack this. See, we've been doing this since 2015. When I started Unpacked over here. You put my name in the bar on YouTube when you get off this live. Put my name in the bar. It doesn't even come up, although you're on my channel right now. Put Queen Janice in the bar when you get off YouTube. Comes up Queen Japanese, Queen Japanese, Queen Japanese, Queen Japanese. You literally have to click on it in order to even see me. It does not come up in the drop down bar. And I've been on this bitch forever. Really, my other channel, the big channel that they deleted, I started that in 2012. I've been on this bitch since they started. That's another subject for another day, though. I'll just introducing myself to you. Welcome. During his historic trip to Angola, President Biden announced additional humanitarian funding, including more than $200 million to purchase ships and distribute surplus agriculture commodities for American farmers to provide life-saving food assistance for refugees and other food insecure populations. Now, let me wait. Now, did I read that like I just thought I read it? We gave them the money for the boats. Gave them the money for the irrigation system. Gave them the crop, right? In order for them to come back, turn around, use the boats to ship the commodities for refugees here in America. For their refugees here in America. Did I read that right? Did y'all read it like I had read it? Did I read that with my science degree? Should I read it with ebonics? Since they say we're dumb. How I'm going to give you money to get the boats? Give you the money to build the damn farm. Then you're going to take that and come feed your refugees over here in the fuck America. Once you take your goddamn refugees back to Africa. Wouldn't that be a good strategy instead of wasting money on this shit? Since December 2022, DFC has provided $180 million to 15 food security focused projects in Africa. These include a $20 million DFC loan to Victory Farms in Kenya to support expansion of sustainable tilapia production on Lake Victoria. A $75 million loan to Endorma. I don't know, nil nigga in America that can get a $75 million loan. I don't. I hate to keep stopping this. I don't know, not one. I don't even think they'll give Tyler Perry $75 million in loan money. They gave you $2,000, $10,000 in student loans and sit here and throw that shit up in our face every fucking day. You know y'all in student loan debt. Bitch, I know that. But what about this $75 million loan that you just gave to Endorma, Elima, Fertilizer and Chemicals Company? You gonna keep bringing that up? Oh, no, we ain't gonna say nothing about that at all. Shh. Let's have a silent library on that issue. Let's do some ASMR. Y'all do ASMR on the shit that matters. Fertilizer and Chemicals Limited to financing the development, design, construction, operation, and maintenance of a urea ammonia fertilizer facility in Port Harcourt. They need that for fertilizer. This is for Nigeria. This for Daddy December, Nigeria. A project development technique assistant to loans to Ephria. A development of cold chain warehouses in Morocco and Senegal. Damn, that's Akon now. As part of the U.S. government Feed the Future initiative, a global vision for the Adaptive Crops and Soils program helps build resilient food systems in partner countries using diverse nutritional and climate resilient crops growing in healthy fertilized soil. Since 2023, the United States has donated 150 million and mobilized another 60 million from international partners for VSCS programs implementing partner organizations, including the International Fund for Agriculture Development, the UN Food and Agriculture Organizations, and the Consultative Group and International Agriculture Research. USAID and AU, this is a whole nother, guys, I'm on a whole nother food program. Here's another food program. USAID and AU launch Feed the Future Accelerator in September 2024 with a new commitment working with Congress of more than 80 million to deepen food security partnerships in Malawi, Tanzania, and Zambia. U.S. investments will harness the region's combination of fertile soil, diverse farming systems, and highly motivated government in support of a regional breadbasket that we just paid y'all the bill before we gave y'all this money. The funds complete a diverse Feed the Future portfolio, including over 497 million of ongoing U.S. investment into these three countries alone, plus more than 150 million in private sector investment. Now you're at over $500 million for 3 places. As a part of the larger U.S. government response to the global food crisis through Feed the Future, USAID and African Development Bank completed an agreement in January 2024 to fund a $9.5 million project, Technologies for African Agriculture Transformation, to help Kenya, Nigeria, Daddy December Nigeria, Uganda, and Zambia increase food production and introduce climate smart tech. Now, I thought these niggas were so rich. Didn't the Essence Festival generate enough money for them niggas to build them a damn farm over there? Why we had to build it? Building on the US-AU strategic partnerships on food security. Number 8. On food security, the United States supported the AU process to refresh the Comprehensive African Agriculture Development Program, CAADP, a 10-year strategic plan focused on food security and increased agricultural trade. USAID provided analytical work that fed into CAADP technical working groups and submitted an independent memorandum to the AU Commission with recommendations on how to achieve agriculture transformation, wealth creation, food security and nutrition, and economic growth. I'm up here literally crying. I'm so angry. Promoting peace, security, and democratic governance. All this money we just gave y'all is so y'all can come online during voter season and talk shit, talk back and forth, pretend like y'all are the blacks of America. Because in order for a president to win in America, they have to get the black vote. So we want y'all to fix your hair like the black Americans do, fix your makeup like the black Americans do, get some Negro vernacular. AAVE is what we're going to call it, although Africans had nothing to do with it. AAVE, learn a little bit slang and make videos. And don't worry, guys, take those flags off your page so they can't tell whether you're from Africa or not, because we'll pay to get your nose done if you need, because we done paid some Nigerian doctors to go to school for the fuck free. So if you need a nose job, we got funding for that as well. You know, if you need to get those lips tucked in a little fucking bit, if you need to get that hairline fixed, we'll get you some implants as well, so you can look more like a real black man from America. Because right now, we got some work to do on you. Either way, when the political season comes, we need you to comment and post as if you are a Negro from America. Because the more of y'all that comment and post, the more we can encourage everybody that we got the Negro vote. Although we know we didn't have it because they was asking for reparations and we were intentionally ignoring them. Whew, I'm crying. United States supported peace as a large single humanitarian donor for refugees and migration related needs in sub Saharan Africa, working with international organizations and NGO partners to support over 8 million refugees and asylum seekers and over 300 million international displaced persons. Nigga, America don't even have enough money, do we? I thought America was broke. I thought when the Negroes asked for money, they said, we need a study because this is going to cost too much. Remember they said that, guys? We need to just study reparations because I don't know nothing. We got that much money to be giving that. But they can help over 8 million refugees and asylum seekers with over 300 million internally displaced persons. President Biden also launched the 21st Century Partnership with African Security, 21PAS, to expand support to African partners with a focus on promoting effective, responsible, and accountable defense institutions able to meet an emerging threat of our time, the Negroes in America. At the summit, the United States reaffirmed its commitment to support complex political transitions in Africa through launching the African Democratic and Political Transitions, ADAPT initiatives. Don't worry, guys. These are the people we're going to bring into America and pretend like they're the Negroes of America. And we probably get them on the Black Caucus. And when it's time for reparations to come up where you actually get a monetary amount, we're going to have them block it. Don't worry, guys. These are the next people that we're going to put as mayors in these cities, these refugee cities. We're going to put them as mayors, so you guys will never get a word in edgewise. You will never be able to get another word in. And we're going to put them in. And don't worry, guys. We're going to change their name from Umfufu to Johnson. Don't worry. We got this. Fiscal year 2024, the United States, through the State Department, Bureau of Population, Refugees, and Mitigation, provided more than 1.37 billion in Africa to support urgent and life-saving needs for refugees, asylum seekers, conflict victims, stateless persons, and vulnerable migrants, including those affected by climate change. Since December 2022, the United States has resettled over 56,000 refugees from sub-Saharan Africa, welcoming them as they build new lives in communities across the United States. The majority of refugees resettled were from the Democratic Republic of Congo. I specifically remember them coming through the border. Yep. And they said that they were military. They sure did. Eritrea, Republic of South Sudan, Somalia, and Sudan. The United States, Gabon, Ghana, and Mozambique worked together to successfully authorize UN Security Council Resolution 2719, which outlines a process for the AU to receive UN funding for peace support organizations. UN Security Council, mind you guys, this is about the African diaspora. They was talking about the Americans in the first paragraph, the Black Americans, the Negroes. Now we talking about the UN. They ain't mentioned us again yet. Now we talking about how the Africans get money from the UN, guys. What Negro American you know with a UN contact? Who can we talk about reparations at the UN? Who anybody over there we can talk to? Did any of y'all get the memo? No? All right. The United States is supportive of the UN and the AU, utilizing the resolution to support PSO on the continent, while working together to ensure the human rights, transparency, and accountability mechanisms are successful. Through 21PAS, the Department of Defense, the DoD, is focused on improving the capacity of African partners to plan, resource, and sustain their defense and security forces. 21PAS values partnership rooted in transparency, accountability, respect for human rights, recognizing that the values are foundational to lasting security. Using these criteria, the Department of Defense identified a broad array of security operations, programming totaling 73 million in Botswana, Ghana, Kenya, and countries along the Gulf of Guinea and West Indian Ocean. The United States continued to bolster democratic governance through the ADAPT initiative. For example, in Gabon, U.S. technical assistance to government entities, civic groups, media outlets, the YouTubers, African diaspora, all these, we came from Africa, West Africa, we came from West Africa, but most of us was already over here. And our motherfucking Cause ain't no way y'all ain't picked the side by now. No, I love all my people. I love all my people. When the people don't love you, then what? Y'all niggas be arguing with y'all cousins, be arguing with y'all, not talking to your own family, but y'all love y'all people all across the water. I ain't telling you not to love people. You love humanity just because you have love in your heart. But when you see that you have asked for something, and the other people that you keep pushing and bigging up is actually getting what you asked for, although you work for it, your family worked for it. We are the red in the red, white, and blue. Once you see that, then that means you got to slide other people to the side. See, when I come on here and talk, it's out of love for my family. It's out of love for the strangers that I met on the internet. The strangers that I have talked to personally who are from America. Total strangers. You think I'ma love them less than I love people already across the water who are already set? No, I love us because there is something that we need. There is something that has been taken away. There is systematic racism. How the fuck are we even still dealing with that? Now it's coming from so many sides. It's like, well, now we are in a cataclysm by our own selves. Okay, so how do we get out of this? Okay, so who only thing we can talk to is each other. So I'm not finna show you less love when I see everybody is pointing fucking guns at us, even the people over there. Everybody pointing guns at us, and then I'm gonna be like, I love you. And I know you ain't trying to stop them from putting the guns down on us. All right. The United States continued to bolster democratic governance through ADAPT initiative. For example, Gabon, U.S. technical assistance to government entices civic government media outlets and woman and youth-focused organizations supportive, inclusive, constitutional, and electoral legal reforms for fair, free, and peaceful transitional elections. In 2022, U.S. aid through the Election and Political Processes Fund. What the fuck? Did anybody even know about that? Election and Political Processes Fund has provided $48.9 million for critical election support for 28 countries in Africa for unaccepted needs such as snap elections and other unforeseen political developments. USA provided an additional $17.4 million through the Defending Democratic Elections Fund to 10 countries to tackle deeply rooted electoral integrity issues, especially during inter-election periods, through a Women's Political Partnership and Leadership Fund. Wow. USA provided $8.36 million in fiscal year 2022 and 23 to 4 countries to build and sustain a pipeline of women leaders and facilitate their safe and meaningful participation in political peace building and transitional processes. We don't have that over here. We don't. Since 2022, the U.S. government has dedicated over $181 billion through the Prevention and Stabilization Fund. Half of this shit I ain't never heard of. Prevention and Stabilization Fund to enhance partnerships with Mozambique, Libya, Benin, Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Guinea, and Togo. Efforts focus on 10-year objectives to include promoting reconciliation and unification, acceleration, inclusive and sustainable economic development, improving responsive governments and security institutions, promoting respect for human rights, strengthening justice systems, building capacity and resilience in historically marginalized, at-risk, and conflict-affected areas, and advancing meaningful participation of youth and women. Women and youth. Deepening health cooperation. The United States works in partnership with African nations and regional global partners, including the World Health Organization. WHO and its African Regional Office, AFRO, and AU, the African Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, African CDC, and the private sector to save lives and build more resilient health systems that are better able to prevent and respond to current and future health threats. The administration has built on the United States' longstanding leadership in the fight to end AIDS and HIV, tuberculosis, malaria as public health threats, include by investing more than $15.55 billion through the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief. I'm tired of yelling at y'all just as much as y'all are tired of me yelling at y'all. The people who were doing the tally, where are we? How much is we up now? How much have we spent? Everybody with calculators, how much have we spent so far? Please click the video. Please share the video, guys. How much? Because they might take this down. How much have we spent so far? Why didn't the news media talk about this? How much, guys? How much have we spent so far? Now, no wonder why they look at black people like, y'all already got it set. Y'all already got reparations. I done heard plenty white folks say we already got reparations. I was wondering what the hell they was talking about. Like, what you mean we already got reparations? We ain't get a damn penny. We ain't get a wooden nickel. We didn't get nothing other than the 3 jobs that we working, 2-3 jobs. We didn't get nothing. I think it was the people who saw this executive order and saw that it had Black Americans written in it. Please share the live, guys. We should have 5,000 people in here. As much yelling and screaming I done did on here. Ain't no other content creator giving it up like this. I can guarantee. I guarantee. They over there still dealing with AIDS. We just gave them $15.55 billion through the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS relief, the President's Malaria Initiative, and the Global Fund to fight AIDS, tuberculosis, and malaria, and the Gavi and Vaccine Alliance. This investment has reduced the burdens of HIV, malaria, tuberculosis, and vaccine-preventable diseases and have strengthened healthcare systems in more than 30 countries in Africa. If you're on TikTok, please share the live. Please click hearts and share the live so more people can come in, because the Africans are here on TikTok. They don't, the Africans with the mouthpieces are here with YouTube channels too, but the Africans with the everyday mouthpieces, the shit talkers, is definitely here. They're on TikTok. For the past 2 years, the United States provided more than $3 billion in global health funding to support health workers, including funding for PEFAR to support more than 346,000 health professionals to deliver HIV and tuberculosis services for the past year. PEFAR is also providing $8 million to support nurses, who are the backbone of patient care in Botswana, Cote d'Ivoire, Eswatini, Malawi, Nigeria, South Africa, and Zambia. In fiscal year 2024, USA provided $10 million in support to support the Global Health Worker Initiative to build on the Primary Impact Initiative in countries including Ghana. Before also centralized in reversing AIDS and pandemic trajectory in sub-Saharan Africa, where the 56% fewer new HIV infections in 2023 in 2010. So they compare in 2023 to 2010. 9 African countries are nearing an achievement in UN AIDS 2025 global goal. The 95% of people living with AIDS will know their status and benefit from treatment that keeps them healthy and helps prevent further spread. You didn't have to give them all these billions of dollars. Could you just have given them the goddamn PrEP pill, perp pill that you gave the Americans in the U.S.? They got billions in the Negroes in America who was battling AIDS. They got a perp pill. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember? Because, what's the girl name? Love and War. What's the Love and War girl name? The singer. She said she was taking perp. She said, I'm taking perp just in case because these men out here nasty. Girl, you should have went over to Africa, bitch. You'd have gotten billions for your pain and suffering. Tamar Baskin, y'all remember Tamar Baskin said she was taking prep. Is it prep? She said she was taking prep. Y'all remember? Mm-hmm. Jesus, I want to speed this up so bad. Since fiscal year 2021, PMI has invested more than $100 million to support 100,000 community health workers across partnership rapidly. I'm just going to speed this up, guys. Let's speed this up. Land freight to transport malaria commodities. The fuck is a malaria commodity? I said I need to read this. Fiscal year 2019 to fiscal year 2028, PMI transitioned from primary resilience on air freight to using sea and land freight to transport malaria commodities, reducing transportation-related greenhouse gas emissions by 85% and generating $66 million in cost savings when PMI used to expand our other malaria-related programs. What in the fuck is this? Are they bottling up the disease and taking it somewhere to make a bioweapon or some shit? Am I reading this like y'all reading this? Yeah. PMI transition from primary resilience on air freight to using sea and land freight. They transporting malaria. I might be tripping. That might be something else. Not because we talking about disease, bitch. That's malaria. I'm just saying malaria because I'm country. They're transporting malaria to do what? To do what with it? PMI has supported African manufacturing to promote more resilient and sustainable commodity supply chains. In FY 2023, PMI sourced approximately 10% of its commodity procurements from Africa, more than double what was procured from the other continent. In FY 2021, from 2019 to FY 2023, PMI transitioned from primary resilience on air freight to using sea and land freight to transport malaria commodities. What the fuck is that? Am I reading it wrong? Malaria commodities, reducing transportation greenhouse gas emissions by 85% and generating $66 million in cost savings, which PMI used to expand other malaria-related programs. Is malaria a bioweapon or some shit? In 2024, the administration launched U.S. Global Health, because I'm going to skip over that and just scam the damn thing. But I look like I got to read some of this shit. In 2024, the administration launched the U.S. Global Health Security Strategy to strengthen pandemic preparedness and response and welcome 6 new global health security partners in Africa. The United States continues working in partnership with African nations to support outbreak response, including Marburg, Mpox, Ebola, and cholera. The National Health Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, NIH, has been partnering with research agencies and institutions in Africa for decades. Long-withstanding research programs have enabled collaboration on research response to emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases. From 2022 to 2023, the U.S. government provided more than $22 million to support the government of Uganda Ebola response, and an additional $7 million to help neighboring countries prepare for potential outbreaks. Didn't give the nigger community nothing to prepare for COVID. Let's carry on. In 2023, the United States worked with the government of Tanzania and Equilateral Guinea and other international partnerships to address simultaneous but unrelated Marburg virus disease outbreak, providing over 5.8 million to support key response and prevention efforts. If y'all know what this is crazy. In response to, I've never even heard of Marburg before. In response to Marburg viruses, this shit is sounding like bioweapons to me. I'm reading all this shit like bioweapons now. Because ain't no way niggas is still dealing with the fuck AIDS. Bitch should be immune to that shit by now. They said AIDS came from Africa before I was fucking born. Ain't no way your body ain't built up immunity to that shit. Is white blood cells. Ain't no way you ain't got up your T cell count by now. Ain't nothing over that bitch but paradise, right? You say it's paradise. The United States has provided technical support, vaccine, diagnosis, therapeutics, and personal protective equipment, and plan to allocate over 11 million regionally to address urgent health needs. The United States partners with biological laboratories in public, private, and academic sectors in 20 African countries. I think that's bioweapons, y'all. They're making bioweapons. Allegedly, bitch. I don't want no smoke from the DOD. I got enough the fuck problems. But this sounds like some bioweapon ass shit to me. I hope not. But y'all remember that biolab over here in Conyers that blew up? Please continue to share the live. We're just running numbers, guys. Continue to share the live. We're just talking about how big of a scam this goddamn African diaspora shit is. It's big of a scam. I ain't even done yet. Let me just scroll up like I was just... This sounds like some bioweapon shit to me. Let me just keep scrolling up so I can speed this up, guys. I don't want to... It's long. I didn't make it this long. This is just how much money these people are getting, guys. This is just how much money these people are getting in the diaspora, the African diaspora. That's supposed to include us. I'm literally not even done reading the shit. DFC continues to catalyze investments to strengthen regional manufacturing capacity in Africa, included by providing input into designs of Gavi's African Vaccine Manufacturing Accelerator to ensure long-term sustainability of African vaccine manufacturers. Just like that COVID. This some shit. I'm sorry. This weird. I'm sorry. This is weird. Because when you make a vaccine, the actual virus is inside of the vaccine. That's how you make vaccines. You make them with viruses. They call novel. That's why it be like nCoV. When I first saw nCoV, I came to the internet in 2020 and I said, nCoV? That means it's made in a lab. And people didn't understand, but the scientists knew exactly what the fuck I was talking about. Yeah, that's right. Because that's novel. That is made in a lab. So, what's this Wuhan lab? What's this Wuhan lab shit? Yeah, we got Africa continent full of Wuhans. Look like our tax dollars is paying for this. Gavi's Vaccine Manufacturing Accelerator to ensure long-term sustainability of African vaccine manufacturers. Following DFC loan to 100 million, whatever currency that is, to Aspen Pharmacare in 2021. In 2024, in 2024, they just removed my live thing on what you call it. DFC also invests in healthcare services and technologies to improve access. I just pointed out that these goddamn vaccine manufacturers, and then I got yeah, I said Wuhan, and that shit banned. I said we got an Africa full of Wuhans, and this shit banned. I mean, they just removed my live on TikTok. It didn't ban me, just removed my live. That's interesting. Welp. I hope they come over here and it's not like I'm lying. I'm reading the shit right off the screen. I ain't making it up. I'm reading it. Then they say vaccine manufacturers. Don't you have to have the virus? Is any scientists in the chat? Don't you have to have a strand of the virus, a piece of what you're trying to build up immunity in somebody's body? You have to shoot them with the actual thing and the treatment inside of it. DSC also invests in health service and technology to improve access to affordable, high quality healthcare and products. For example, 2023 DFC committed to $10 million in loan to Hiwatul, a medical oxygen manufacturer in Kenya, to expand production and distribution of medical oxygen. DFC also provides $10 million loan guaranteed to KCB Bank in Kenya to increase financing available in small and medium business. Let's just skip through this, y'all, because baby, for the people who got the calculators, this is a scam. We've been hoodwinked for sure, bamboozled for sure. Need to get African shit off our name for sure, so they can stop doing this shit. It's deeper than the Essence Fest. They went political. It's deeper than the Essence Fest. They went actual political. They got political power, and sitting here saying they're for the diaspora. They're working for the diaspora. Baby, we got nothing. I'm here to tell you. They got political power. We got nothing. So let me just skim through this. First Lady Jill Biden, some Biden cancer moonshot hosted White House. During the forum, the United States announced $100 million. South Africa cancer care. Here we go. Elevating African diaspora engagement. Guys, I done read 3 hours worth of fucking shit about money going to the continent of Africa. Since the summer, the administration has aimed to harness the dynamicism of the African diaspora to enrich lives on both sides of the Atlantic. I feel like I done read this shit before. The administration has strengthened educational, cultural, and social, political, and economic ties to African communities, the global African diaspora in the United States. As Vice President Harris said during her 2023 trip to African continent, the fates of America and the continent of Africa are interconnected and interdependent. That shit's stupid. In December 2022, President Biden established the President Advisory Council Board, the PAC. I knew I had read this before. This is just the information about the PAC that clearly has nothing to fucking do with us. This is what I started this whole show off with. The PAC. See, the PAC goes to the White House where we aren't fucking invited. Sits in the Indian Treaty Room. Please click like and please share the live, guys. Please continue to share the live. Share the link. Y'all know how this go. Take the link, text it to some random person in your phone who thought that the African diaspora was for us all. It's not. It's just not. These PAC people are the ones who sit at the White House and tell the White House where the money should go. That's how you got all that money in Africa. Now, they had a meeting at Spelman College as if that meant anything. The meeting at Spelman College, because I went and looked it up. The Kenya president, they didn't drop any money when they was in this bitch. They just had the meeting at Spelman College so that it'll look as if Black Americans are involved. We're not. The council also conducted its inaugural visit to the continent in July 2024 to Lagos in Abuja, Nigeria, where they met with government. Oh, it gets good. It gets good. Because I remember reading this on the other PAC thing. Diaspora-led investments in education. Okay. They met with government civil society, and private sector partners to discuss diaspora-led investments in education, entrepreneurship, health technology, youth and women empowerment, and the creative industries. The council held its final meeting of the year in October 2024 with remarks by the assistant to the president, senior advisor to the president, and director of the White House Public Engagement, Mayor Steve Benjamin. Several members of the council joined President Biden on his trip to Angola in December. That's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't go. When Biden went to Africa, y'all didn't go. He took Africans with him. The Africans that's over this pact that he and Kamala and them created. That's supposed to be diaspora. It's supposed to be Black Americans. Because in the first part of the executive order, he said we were the ones who fought for both Africa and ourselves during the civil rights movement, and we were the ones who got transported on the Atlantic Ocean, toils and snares. You know the whole thing in the first paragraph of the executive order. He didn't take none of us with him to Africa. He took the Africans that was on the board. That's appointed, by the way, sworn in the Indian, where the Indian treaties are made. They're sworn in. In concert with, did I read that? Yeah. In concert with PAC-8's keen effort to increase business ties with the continent, Prosper Africa has prioritized the support of diaspora firms and investments, resulting in a portfolio of notable transactions with diaspora-owned and led firms. These include Cybations, partner with Cisco Systems, that's white owned, in over 800 million of cybersecurity and digital upgrade contracts in 6 countries. This is the Diaspora Pact, guys. Active partnerships with leading diaspora organizations, including joining with USAID to sign a memorandum of understanding with the National Alliance for Black Business, an organization founded in 2022. This is not a nigga-owned organization. I'm sorry to tell you, they're just using the word black to grip. That shit was just founded in 2022. In 2022, we was dealing with burying our family members. All the black alliances that have been founded was founded in the 80s. We don't have no new black alliances. We don't. So they done grifted the term black as well. Founded in 2022. That has shit to do with us. I can tell you that for a fact. The National Black Chamber of Commerce, the National Business League, and the World Conference of Mayors. In addition to PAC aid, the U.S. government is investing the diaspora engagement through education. The Young African Leaders Initiative embodies our investment in our shared future by providing training opportunities for diverse African youth. What about the Water Boys? The Water Boys need some money too. At the summit, Vice President Harris announced plans to expand YALL, Young African Leaders Initiative. As a part of this expansion in 2023, USAID launched a YALI Legacy Localizing Award to expand the work of the 4 regional leadership centers on the continent to provide transformative leadership training. 2024 USA-led YALI Alumni Expo and Trade Show took place in Cape Town, South Africa, where over 500 YALI alumni showcased their inventions and fostered connections with experts and officials from the private sector, social society, government, and diaspora communities. Digital transformation of Africa. Here come Essence and all this talk about what we invented, all the arguments online and all that shit. A lot of that's under this digital shit too. Let's just digitally steal the identity of Black Americans and say they ain't invent shit and then come up with shit, blah, blah, blah. Launched at the summit, Digital Transformation DTA initiatives aim to expand digital access in Africa, increase commercial engagement between U.S. and African companies in the digital sector, support increased digital literacy, and strengthen digital enabling environments across Africa. DTA works in alignment with the priorities outlined in AU's digital transformation strategies to enable innovation, inclusion, and sustainability growth and development. Damn, GD. They done stole the GD identities. DTA work in organizing across the following 3 pillars: digital economy and infrastructure. I want to speed this shit up. I'm sick of it. They ain't doing shit for us. Something critical: 100 million individuals and businesses in Africa over the next 10 years. They ain't say shit about America. Africa, 40 to 80% connect 1 billion people to the internet by 2030. Connect them to the internet for what? So they come talk shit to us. Since December 2022, funded 20 activities. Blah, blah, blah. Prosper Africa leads Africa Tech. African Alliance members include Visa, MasterCard, Intel, Cisco, Google. 2024 President Council doing Africa, business in Africa. Business summit in Kenya. Cybersecurity Experience Center. Human Capital Development. Announced DTY, Young African Leaders, partnership with Leverage, YALI Regional Leadership Centers to expand digital skills and literacy, support digital entrepreneurships and startups to increase private sector engagement in 49 African countries. They ain't got shit to do with us either. Wow, guys. They're going to frontier technologies as artificial intelligence. Wonder where they get the money to do that from. Look at that. They're supposed to be, so they said it was for all darkies. Department of State prioritized biosafe and biosecurity capacity building in Africa. Over the past 2 years, the State Department has conducted trainings in cyber biosecurity. Blah, blah, blah. USA MCC supporting DigiFilms program as a part of MCC's $536 million compact with the government of Cote d'Ivoire. DigiFilms provide the leadership, innovation, and technical training women need to grow their businesses through data and digital tools. Wow. $536 million for a female-led. Wow. But they put us on stage, sell at the business conferences. They ain't gave us no money to book no event. They sell on and then push us out there as strong black women. You don't need no money. You're a strong black woman. Woo! Boy, they got you. Got you. Nearly 9,000 women-led small and medium business enterprises have benefited in Africa from this pool of money. $536 million. Ooh-wee. The government of Togo launched nanotech, a program designed to equip Tongolese women and entrepreneurs with digital skills they need to benefit from the growing digital economy. To date, nearly 2,000 women with 200 supporting organizations have benefited. Y'all remember when I was talking about Essence and I said, how the hell them girls get money to build warehouses for fashion warehouses and was raised in the village? Somebody gave them that money. I just said that the other show before I even seen this. The other show made me research to get to this. But I know these girls online that's got these fashion businesses and getting all this fabric. You was raised in the village. And you got a warehouse where you can manufacture purses and gowns. No, you got that money from America. And push our fashion people off to the side on some African diaspora shit. But instead of the African diaspora being strengthened, because they know we're not the African diaspora, guys. They know we're not. They know we're not. They know we're not. Digital enabling environment. Lagos, Nigeria. Bringing together 400 stakeholders, guys, including government officials, industry leaders, civil, social membership. Mind you, this is under the diaspora that's supposed to be. Okay. How many of you all got invited to Lagos for this? Artificial intelligence on the continent, the GIAA conference. Are y'all enjoying this? Please share the live. Please click like. Please support the channel. Because they probably going to take this video down just like they just took it down off IG. Why would you take it down? I don't know. I'm reading off the government website. Ain't no reason to take no shit down. In November 2024, representatives from the Department of Commerce, blah, 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 African Tech Festival in Cape Town. Wow. Over 100 stakeholders hosted the U.S. government event. USA Afrobarometer. USA is working with Afrobarometer through the United States Institute of Peace to conduct public surveys to assess public awareness, perception, and understanding of digital threats, online safety and security in Benin, Kenya, Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Tanzania, Senegal, and Angola. But we don't get no online digital threats. I just said we need to contact the Department of State the other day because these people are online attacking us every day. I just said that. And they got it. They actually got it. So that's why when we say something back to them, our shit get taken offline. Theirs don't. When we say something back to them to take up for ourselves, our stuff get taken offline. Our comments get deleted. Our lives get deleted just like mine just did on TikTok. Lives get deleted. Comments get taken down. All kind of stuff. I'm just scrolling. Y'all let me know. Partnership for Gender Equality and Women's Empowerment. More money. Vice President Harris launched Women in Digital Economy to close the gender gap, digital divide. Together catalyze over $1 billion in commitments from governments, private sector, foundations, and civil societies to accelerate digital gender equality. Digital gender equality, guys. Use our name to get that done. Use the Negroes who fought for civil rights, literally, in the executive order to add all this bullshit into this. Together, WIDEF and WISE represents a commitment of $3 billion across millions to empower African women and girls. It didn't say nothing about us. All the trans boys over here that done put on the cape for this movement, you didn't get no money. You might as well go back to be a little boy. In 2024, SBA and Howard University. They just had one at Spelman too. Didn't drop Spelman on money. Didn't drop no money in Atlanta. But they'll have the meetings at the universities and stuff. Because this is what Kamala graduated from. So, of course, she's going to go there and she's going to use this platform to do a speech about voting too, probably. Because this was during the voting season. July 2024. SBA, Howard University Small Business Development Center, AWEP, the State Department of Commerce cooperated on an event uniting local and African women-owned business. Wow, what about the niggas? I mean, Howard University is a HBCU full of Black Americans, but you cherry-pick the African businesses out to do a whole event. I ain't tripping. That don't say African American. That say African women-owned business. At Howard, cherry-pick the African. How the fuck does the students own So the students got businesses too. Because when I was a student, we had to focus on schoolwork. We didn't get no business. Now, we probably worked a 9 to 5, but running a business ain't no bitch. Running a business is not easy. We didn't have no money to run no businesses in college, eating oodles and noodles. It's clearly the Africans over here ain't eating no noodles and oodles and damn noodles. More money for them. Past 2 years, deepening commitment, investment, Africans. Key investment includes $100 million. First City Loan Bank. Medium-sized enterprises in Nigeria. Ignite African Warehouses. $10 million equity. To Janago Capital Startup Fund. For the growth of African startups. He didn't say shit about you African Americans. That's why we need that shit dropping my name. It didn't say nothing about African Americans. They're just using our name to get money and using our spending power in order to broker deals internationally. That's all. That's all. That's all. They want to show their corporate sponsor this how much money they get from the government. The Department of State, through the support her women's inclusion and security, has invested $9 million globally, supporting women. $9 million to support 7 women-owned businesses in Cameroon, Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo. Oh, this must be the last one at the bottom. Okay, last one announced during Vice President Harris' visit to Ghana in 2023. The Amarish Women Initiative is helping women advance in their careers, improving their skill sets. Blah, blah, blah. First cohort of 4 companies in East Africa, providing that leadership, mentoring, skill training, menstrual health, and hygiene, location support. Blah, 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 blah. Gender violence. Blah, blah, blah. Damn, that took a long time. Y'all see that long ass thing? That's a lot. Look at this, guys. That was a lot to read. Whoa. How much did y'all hear about us? That was so long. Some people fell asleep. I almost fell asleep. Shit. I didn't want to read it as much as you didn't want to fuck hear it. See, I don't want to read it. This is the same thing, guys. This is us. They say this is us. U.S. President Advisory Council on African Diaspora Engagement concludes landmark visit to Nigeria. It gets good, guys. It gets good. This in July. See, this adds context to one of the parts that we just read inside of there. This adds the context. Look at them. Anybody look American? No Americans now. Don't get yourself twisted. Don't go too far. Don't put too much chip on your dip on your chip. The U.S. President Advisory Committee on African Diaspora Engagement has successfully completed its first visit to the African continent, making a significant milestone in U.S.-African relations. The delegation engaged in high-level discussions. The event in Lagos, Ajuba focused on strengthening the ties between United States and Nigeria through diaspora-led initiative. Another picture. That's a better picture. In Ajuba, meetings with Foreign Minister Tuger. Senior officials reaffirmed the U.S. commitment in building relationships with Nigeria. Climate change, blah, blah, blah. There they go right there, y'all. Look at that. That's the shuki that lady told us not to fucking wear. That's the shuki that lady told us not to wear because it's sacred to them. The shuki is sacred, guys. That's them, y'all. That's them. And here are the board members, guys. Here are some of the board members. President's Advisory Council, doing business in Africa. Here are some of the board members. They even got an L Bay on there. Damn. They even got a more on there, faking the phone, telling y'all to give up your driver's license, but then y'all over here brokering deals, getting money. And told the niggas not to be American citizens, though, boy. Y'all sit here getting money. Deepak Chopra, how the hell you get on there? Who put Deepak Chopra on there? Cohen. That's a good old white name, Jew name. What board am I on now? Oh, the African Diaspora board. Oh, whew. Gosh. Look at here. Look at here. I got some good news though, guys. I got some good news. There was also an executive order for Black Americans because they knew this shit didn't have nothing to do with us. So right now, I am going to read you the executive order that went out for Black Americans. Hold your horses. Hold on to your seats. Buckle up. Y'all buckled? Y'all buckled up? Buckle up. I'm about to tell you. I'm about to read it. Buckle up. I'm about to read it. Please share the live. Please click like. I'm about to read the one that's for us. Here you go. Sign Joe Biden. Executive Order 14050. White House Initiative on Advancing Educational Equality, Excellence, and Economic Opportunities for Black Americans. When they talking about us, they always put Black Americans. See that African Diaspora thing? When they added us into that African Diaspora bullshit, they know fucking well they wasn't talking about us. Not with that amount of money. We just, I didn't even see how much money was counted, guys. For the people who were adding, could you put the total in the chat? I think we was up at the trillion. Well over a trillion. Got to be. No wonder why white people over here hate us. They think we getting all this goddamn money. They think we getting their taxpayer dollars. Shit, we ain't even getting our own taxpayer dollars. Let me read what was written for us, guys. Let me read what was written for us. October 19th, 2021. By authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, I hereby order as follows. Policy, education opportunities is a fundamental element of the American promise. Bitch, no, it's not our heirs' property is, but keep going. The United States Supreme Court recognized in 1954 in the Brown versus Board of Education that education is a right which must be made available to all on equal terms. In decades since, our nation has been progress in advancing equality and fairness in our schools. And the achievements, talents, tenacity of Black students, educators, family, and scholars make this nation's schools and communities stronger for all Americans, because all lives matter when it comes to niggas. Black students are thriving in schools across the country. Remember, he said that not Black students are thriving. So what the fuck did we need this executive order for? Black students are thriving inside of schools across America, inside the classroom as valedictorians, award-winning scientists. Exactly, thank you. And outside of it, including in debates, athletics, student government, and national spelling bees across many areas. So we didn't need this. Let's keep reading, because they just got a lot of money over there in the African Diaspora. When I know if they got $1 trillion, we at least getting 20 trillion. Let's see. Outside of the course of American history, Black Americans has helped build, strengthen, and lead the nation towards becoming a more perfect union. That's right. We did build it. We did build this bitch. Thank you for acknowledging that, Joe. That's my first time hearing you say that. Trump said it. I guess you said it because he said it. Thank you for saying it, though. Although far too long, Black Americans were denied even the most basic access to education, and vital contributions of Black Americans in fields of science, academia, business, and public service, amongst others, are the testament of the resilience of Black Americans in steps our nation has taken to expand access. You didn't expand the motherfucking thing. Our ancestors built them goddamn colleges. We had HBCU before you niggas was even established for real. We had HBCU before America had 50 states. We had HBCUs all the fuck ready. What is he talking about here? And the Black people who could not build HBCU, who didn't have enough money to do that, went on the private sector and got a few dollars from some whites and build the ones that they wanted to build. The government didn't help do a motherfucking thing. We want to be honest. In spite of this progress, entrenched disparities continue to plague America's education system, holding far too many Black students back from achieving their full potential. That's a far cry from what you just said in the first and second the fuck paragraph. Now I believe that Biden pen shit. Because as it relates to niggas, just let the Biden pen write it. Just let the AI write it. Because you just contradicted yourself. Sleepy. Black students back from achieving their full potential because of persistent racial and systematic injustices in our nation. Black students. Because of systemic racial and systematic injustice. This is about us, guys. Excuse my passion. Click like and here. Please support the channel. This here's for us, guys. This for us. Black students remain more likely to attend high poverty and racially segregated schools than white students. Black students are inequitably disciplined and suspended from school at disproportionately higher rates than white students for familiar offenses. In addition, black students too often face limited access to advanced and college preparatory courses. Damn, we got our own HBCU, but let's just keep going. Systematic and racial disparities in education negatively impacts learning outcomes for black students, and many face persistent gaps in reading and mathematic achievement. Students, goddamn, you just said we're the valedictorians. Now you said we can't read or calculate. Damn. You just said we were some of the best scientists. Now we can't read or calculate. You got to be good at math in order to be a good scientist. Or else you'll get the chemical formulation right and blow the lab wrong and blow the labs up. Students show that school districts with high concentration of students are much more likely to be underfunded than districts where a majority of students are white and face much wider funding gaps. With the average deficit of more than $5,000 per student, black students are still below the national average for educational attainment in high school, and that gap is even higher for college attainment rates. And 26% of black Americans aged 25 and older have attained a bachelor's degree, while the national average is 36. 26% of black Americans aged 25 who only make up, as you say, 14% of the population. We got a 26%, and the national average is only 36 per fucking cent. Black students also face unique challenges in the intersection of race and gender. Do we? Do we not know the difference between race and gender? Barriers to equality in education can compound for black students. You know, they don't know the difference between LGBTQ and straight. Black students who are LGBTQ students, English language learners, dreamers, and students. See, they go to dreamers. Black Americans were not dreamers. How did the dreamers get added in here? Oh, well, wait. Oh, wow. Wait. These disparities results in long-standing college and post-secondary educational attainment gaps. Are you sure? That affect life outcomes and access to opportunities. Although student populations are becoming increasingly diverse, black teachers remain significantly underrepresented in our nation's classroom. Educational inequalities have only widened through the COVID-19 pandemic. That bitch, because you shut the schools down. Duh. As black students are more likely to experience remote learning. Wow, remote learning challenges. Everybody experiences that. Every student, not niggas, just niggas. Let's read through this. Education. In the face of these historic and present day inequalities, has anybody read anything about money yet? Anybody read any financial figures yet? No? Okay, let's keep going. Black students continue to preserve. Black students and scholars today are breaking the barriers confronted by generations who came before them. Our nation's schools and communities are infuriable, strengthened by the success, scholarship, tenacity, black. Additionally, barriers, classroom, black Americans face systematic obstacles in getting good grades, good jobs, gaps, wages. Eliminating these inequalities require expanding access to work-based learning. Oh, you experience wage problems, but we're going to handle that situation by eliminating the inequalities that requires you to learn. Including, we're going to get you niggas mentors. Wow. In order for our nation to equitably recover from the COVID-19 crisis and to ensure that every black person in America has a fair shot at the American dream, we must advance equality and excellence in public education and access to economic opportunities. But you ain't talking about no motherfucking money. Public education is wide, guys. You died of COVID. RIP. You definitely need economic opportunities after all the people that you just buried. Well, let's see. Let's keep reading and see whether you give us any economic opportunities. Because by this juncture, in the last thing I just read, the last executive order, we was already at least 70 billion. It is my policy and my administration to advance education equality, excellence, and economic opportunity for Black Americans and communities of early childhood until their chosen career. So this is about students until their chosen career. White House initiative on advancing educational equality, excellence, and economic opportunity for Black Americans to advance equality in nation schools and to promote the economic opportunity that follows it. There is established a Department of Education, the White House initiative on advancing education. Fuck, where's the money? Excellence and economic opportunity. The secretary shall designate an executive director for the initiative for advancing educational equity excellence. The initiative shall advance educational equity, guys. Because initially we thought they were talking about equity like they were going to give us a loan, to give us a handout. Initially we thought when they meant equity, we were going to get a check. Because when I was reading that, it said equity. I was like, I know what that means. But then when they break it down, they say, oh, no, nigga. Educational equity. Economic opportunities. Oh, I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm hungry. Yeah, guys. Have you guys read a dollar amount yet? Increase Black children and families' access to participate in high quality early education, early childhood. Shit that's already available in America. Address the inequality treatment. Address the inequitable treatment of Black children. I thought they meant equity, like they was going to give us. Never mind. Eradicate discriminatory referrals to special education and excessive disciplinary action. How the fuck are you going to do that? Supporting and improving data collection, guys. Wow, do we need any more data collection? Oh my goodness. Ensuring that all Black students have access to excellent teachers. I feel like I've been reading for 5 hours. How long I've been on here? Jesus Christ, almost 3 hours I've been reading. 3 hours straight. Woo, thank you for everybody who supported the channel. 3 hours straight I've been reading. Have I came up with a dollar amount for Blacks in America yet? Enhancing student support services. Fostering and engaging among schools. Post-secondary attendance rates. And decrease the high school dropout rate for Black students. Mind you, at the top of the shit you said, we was the valedictorians. Now we the dropouts. Promoting positive school climate. Nothing for the actual communities of Negro Americans. Nothing for the old cities that we used to run. Nothing for the heirs property that you took. Nothing for the commodities that you still trade today. Just Black youth and leadership help progress academically. Blah, blah, blah. Eliminating discriminatory enrollments. The fuck? Discriminatory housing, transportation. You haven't done that yet, and you're fucking out of the goddamn White House. You failed to do that. Socioeconomic segregation among schools. Bitch, that was in the 60s. Ensuring equitable access to educational resources. Who needs more pencils and pens, bitch? Where the money? You just gave Africans $80 trillion. Breaking down barriers that implode access. Education, HBCUs. Federal funding. You didn't do that. You didn't do a motherfucking thing. And if you did, you had to do it anyway. There ain't nothing new. Africans just got 80 trillion. I haven't seen a dollar amount yet. Advancing racial equality and economic opportunity by connecting education to labor market needs. through programs. They said y'all niggas need programs. You don't need money. The African businesswoman got 600 million to split, and you got a program. Ensuring that black communities have access. Yeah, now stop me when y'all see a dollar amount, because I'm reading the document. I'm just scrolling. I'm reading fast. I'm speed reading in my head, although I'm not saying every word. But y'all can stop me in the chat if y'all see a dollar amount, please. Ensuring black communities have access to resources in areas of financial education. We ain't gonna cut y'all in your check, but bitch, we'll give you some financial education. Lord mercy. In working to fulfill its mission, the initiative shall consistent with applicable law. Now go put the law on us. You gonna write an executive order, then add the law to it. You gonna put the law on us. You didn't put the law on them damn Africans. I ain't reading nothing about in that executive order about consistent with applicable law. Identify and promote evidence-based best practices that can provide black students with a rigorous and well-rounded education in a safe and healthy environment. And you got access to support, not capital. All right. Advance and coordinate efforts to ensure equitable opportunities for black students in reopening processes for students across the country. Early childhood education. Oh, Lord. Encourage and develop partnerships with the National Network of Early Childhood and Early. All right. There's something about stakeholders. And, let me see. Read this. Intervention provides schools, institutions of higher learning, education, and other public, private, philanthropic, and nonprofit stakeholders to improve access to education. Oh, sorry. Oh. Monitor and support the development, implementation, and coordination of federal government educational, workforce research, and business development policies, programs, and technical assistance designed to improve outcomes of historically underserved communities, including Black Americans. The fuck are you talking about? What is this about? Oh. Work closely with the executive office and the president and key administration priorities related to education. Secretary issue importance of Black American policies, education. There is established a federal interagency working group which shall be converted by alphabet to integrated work group and responsibilities of governments, education. The integrity working group shall consist of senior officials designated by the heads of our respective departments, agencies from the following. Damn, Department of State, Department of Treasury. I ain't hear shit about money. Department of Defense, Justice, Interior. Y'all just putting bullshit on because this is AI. This is an AI-ass executive order. Because y'all didn't say shit about veterans. What you need the veteran affairs in there for? What the fuck? What the hell is this? In addition, departments, agencies. The executive director may establish subgroups of this integracy working group to focus on different aspects of education. Teacher diversity, higher education, adult education, correctional education. The niggas in the correctional facility got an executive order about education. Wow. When they didn't give us no money, but they gave us financial education. But at the top, they said we were the ones who were the smartest. We were the ones with the most degrees, the ones with the most smartest. Each agency designed to participate in the workshop action plan, advanced education. As appropriate, the agency plan shall description on the applicable agency, federal programs, initiatives for the department, agency, meeting with the educational needs of Black Americans. I wish I was making this up. This sounds like when the group of people that they have come online and say they don't need reparations because they only gonna buy Cadillacs with it. You know those Africans that they pay, the African Union paid to come online and say they don't need reparations. They don't even know how to budget the money, but also saying in the same breath, we're the ones that are the valedictorians. We're the ones that are the smartest scientists. We're the ones that are the inventors. We're the ones who literally built America. This bitch was built mathematically, but at the same time saying, oh, we're gonna give you some education and programs. Oh, I ain't seen no money yet. Description of how applicable agency channels Black students higher education. Can address policies and practices that eliminate educational. Oh boy, I tell you, promoting educational. Oh, where's the money? The agency plan includes measurable and action-oriented goals. The department shall fund. Oh, provide funding. Okay, wait. Okay. All right, here we go. I might be eating those words. Department shall provide funding and administrative support for the initiative and the intricacy working group to extend permitting by law. There you go. Put the law in. And within existing appropriations to the extent permitted by law, including the Economy Act, and other agencies and offices representing the intricacy working group may detail personnel. Oh, that's what the money for. Okay. May detail personnel to the initiative to assist the department in meeting the objective of the order. So you just basically saying you're going to pay personnel to meet this executive order. I thought you were talking about giving us some money. I almost got excited. The advanced shared priorities policies. The White House. We didn't ask for more education. We asked for the reparations. That's establishing presidential advisory, advancing educational. That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck said we need a president advisory to advance educational equity? They said we need not a president advisory to broker deals internationally, not a president advisory to drop $1 billion per country on the continent, or more than $1 billion per country. Nigga, y'all dropped almost $1 trillion in Africa. But our president advisory board is so that we can have educational equity, excellence, as if we needed to be more excellent, bitch. Done invented everything over this bitch. And economic opportunities for Black Americans. What? I'm confused. The commission shall advise secondary matters pertaining to education. What's needed to develop and implement educational programs. I'm sorry, let me highlight programs too. Educational programs. To promote a pathway of in-demand jobs for Black students, including registered apprenticeships, internships, fellowships, mentorships, and more learning initiatives. Okay. Hey, this is government record, guys. Our kids will grow up one day and see this. How to increase public awareness and generate solutions for the educational and training challenges that Black Americans face. Woo, approaches to establish local and national partnerships. No money. Consistent with applicable law. Everything they got to do. Anything you say public, private, philanthropic, non-profit stakeholders. The law ain't gonna let them do it. You ain't gonna give us no money no way because you'd put it in there. The commission shall periodically report on the progress. Report to the president on the progress. I read shit about education yet. Commission shall consist of more than members of the representatives. Childhood education, elementary education, secondary education, higher education. Research institute, public education, private education, tribal education, regional. Damn, they said we got tribes still. Wow, that's interesting. Lived experience and those served by initiatives, including young adults, have diversity across Black diaspora. There you go. So now there's an African diaspora and a Black diaspora. And there you go. There you motherfucking have it. What have we concluded? We got 2 diasporas. Raise your hand if you knew we had 2 diasporas. Raise your hand in here if you knew we had 2 diasporas. Oh, Lord, mercy. Let's hurry up and get to the bottom. I'm at the bottom. Okay. I ain't read no money yet. Y'all ain't read no money yet. Education. Education. Members of the commission shall allow travel expense. Okay, included per diem in lieu of subsistence as authorized by law for persons serving. Wow. For persons serving in government service, insular as the financial advisory committee. So the only people in this motherfucking, y'all, I have had a potty mouth today. The only people who get money in this executive order so far is the people who actually work on this executive order. Not the people who the executive order is about. Then they say the commission shall terminate 2 years from the date of this order, unless extended by the president. We know y'all didn't do that. This order supersedes Executive Order 3126 as of July 26, 2012. So this was something that they already had on the books. Educational excellence for African Americans. So what the fuck did you need to come back in the office? Because this was during Obama, right? So really, you just to the Democrats just copied and pasted some bullshit they had for African Americans, but this time they changed it to Black Americans. And the next time they do it, they should have just say Americans. If I got anything to do with it, because that's the only people that look like they can get some money is if you white Americans get money all the fucking time. They're the only ones that can go in the White House and broker a deal. We can't. If you're Black, you can't. If you're African American, you can. If you African, just solely African, you can. If you solely American, you can. They got us in a gray area. A historic gray area. You just copy and paste some shit that was already. Now you think from 2012 to 2022, we still need excellence in education? All while admitting in the same executive order that we're the smartest? That's ignorant. This the Obama executive order here that I'm reading. The executive order they wrote for us is over with, guys. That's the signature. And here I am, 3 hours and 3 minutes later, guys. 3 hours and 3 whole minutes. I read $0 for us and 1,800,342,000,000 for Africans on an executive order that actually includes Negroes, colors, darkies of America as the headline of the executive order and gave us not a dollar. But the deal was brokered using Diaspora, and we traveled across the waters, and we dealt with slavery, and we dealt with so much building, and then the civil rights era came, and we fought for everybody, and now we need these initiatives. What had happened was Nigeria and all these African countries, the African Union, who runs mercenaries, actual mercenaries, they run YouTubers, plenty YouTubers are paid by the African Union. I learned that a long time ago when I was going through what I was going through on YouTube, that the African Union was paying YouTubers. I learned that a long time ago. When my channel got deleted, I learned that. It wasn't just the African Union. See, the African Union are over the crash dummies. The black crash dummies, right? The black-faced crash dummies. That's who the African Union, that's what their mercenary money comes from, right? The African Union. See, CIA can't pay them directly. CIA absolutely controls the African Union. Absolutely, 100%. It's researchable. It's Googleable. It's actually Googleable. That's how I saw it. It's documents out there with the CIA and the African Union in the same document. That should never exist. You got whole African diaspora. Now, it's plenty of diaspora channels here on YouTube. Plenty. I just spent 3 hours. Guys, I read a lot. No money for us. Education, guys. We're dumb. They said we dumb. Sure enough. We are dumb. How do y'all feel about that? Somebody said I never stayed on the line for 3 hours before. Hell, me either. The fuck? Me either. I don't think I ever read for I ain't read for 3 hours since I was in college. I was just so eager to see, guys. Maybe it's something for us in here. Breadcrumb. An Indian head nickel. Nothing. They said we dumb. We is kind, but we is dummies. And I don't know how to feel about this. I just came on here to tell y'all the African diaspora is a goddamn scam. It's the biggest scam that you've ever seen. It's the biggest scam that I've ever seen. I actually, let me tell you, when I made this thing right here, that just isn't gaining traction, by the way. For some reason, it's not gaining much traction. When I made this, let me see, let me refresh the screen. I should have posted the I should have posted the thing in the chat when a lot of people was in on TikTok and on here. When I made this initially, this is before I seen the executive order, guys. I made that we need to take African off of our name before I seen how big of a scam the African diaspora was. Before I seen the fact that they literally have to use us in order to get money. They are literally using and it's not just the African people. No, it's the African government. That's the part. It's the actual government. Y'all, it's the actual African government that's using us to broker deals with the United States, then sending their people over here to collect the money, and then going over to Africa to drop the bag. Oh, child. I've been under these hot lights for 3 hours. Chocolate melts. Thank you for everybody who shared the live. I hope y'all shared the live. I don't know what the final total was. I just know it was high. I know it was high. I don't even know who all had calculators, but I know it was a high amount. Okay. Get this to all the hoteps, all the former Pan-Africans who are now reformed to something else, but still be saying, well, everybody started in Africa. Asians don't use that everybody started in Africa bullshit. That's why they get executive orders to get money. White people don't use that everybody started in Africa bullshit. That's why they get executive orders to get money. Native Americans don't use that everybody started in Africa bullshit. That's why they get executive orders to get money. You're the only ones using everybody that started in Africa in order to be African American. 3,000 tribes over there in Africa. They're not all alike, but somehow we're like one of the 3 tribes, 2 of the 3 tribes. Somehow we are connected to them. They're not even the fucking alike over there, but somehow we're them. And then we get no money from our own government because we're complaining to be them. It's almost as if they give the money to Africa and Africa is supposed to give some of the money to us. But instead of doing that, they give money to their little mercenaries because their whole thing is Africa first. Nigeria to the world. Ghana to the world and all that bullshit. Taking essence over there. Acting as if they're the leaders in fashion. Acting as if they're the leaders in technology. They're the leaders in culture. That's blasphemy. The leaders in culture is wild. You're not even the leaders in agriculture, let alone actual culture. You're not even the leaders in horticulture. You shouldn't even be saying culture all the fucking money we're giving you. But guess what? They also got enough money to mobilize mercenaries, and that's the crazy part. Not Black Americans, the people who are actually suffering discrimination, going through discrimination from people who are actual monsters. You got people over here from Poland that don't like us for no fucking reason. Over here in the country where we're from Poland, but over here don't like us for no the fuck reason. No, you got no reason to not like us. We ain't did nothing to you. But you're from Poland and don't like us. You want to be the new face of KKK so bad. So we still got these little baby KKKs running around here. And you can't even mobilize money to help us with infrastructure, defense infrastructure. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you for everybody who sent the super chat. I appreciate y'all. Cause that was a long live. That was a long live. That was a lot of talking. That was a lot of talking. Thank you so much for the super chat, Rodney. African Americans can sue that organization using the executive order as authority. Misuse of federal funds. They smuggled our money. You might be onto something. But you know what? They say niggas don't sue. That's why they made another executive order for us about education. Because they said we don't sue, guys. That's why when I'm doing this right here, if it got to go to a lawsuit, that's just what it got to go to. Somebody gonna have to change this shit. I would love to be able to now that we have this executive order and we can show how big of a scam this shit really is. That executive order goes right with this. Cause someone told me in the chat, somebody told me that their people aren't clicking on it. People may not be signing the petition because of something that had to do with. It seemed like it still connects to other groups or something like that. But do you rather be other groups in America? Because it seemed like it still could be connected to, I think, Native Americans or something like that. However they said it, I worded as if it could still be connected to Native Americans. Although I didn't word it that way. I clearly put Native Americans in its own section. But, nigga, we got a whole continent we got a whole continent that have actually tethered themselves, taken over our whole fucking identity. This is better, way better than what's currently going on. They just need to call us American. They just need to call us American at this point. America should have its own category. And then it should be everybody else. In fact, I wouldn't even care if it was just America and the options is white and black. I don't give a fuck if they do it like that at this point. It just needs to be where can't nobody else come in that shit from another country. You need to be able to see who is in here from America. Not no first generation. If you from another country and this your first generation and your mama and daddy is something else, then you got to click other. You're a Nigerian American. You're not an American. You're not from the original people that were here. That's all. When Asians come over here, they don't call themselves Asian African American. They're just Asian American. Europeans don't call themselves European African Americans. What you wherever you're born, that's what your race is. You're born in Asia, that's what your race is when you come over here. You're born in Africa, that's what your race is. Whatever country you're born in, that's what I mean. Whatever country you're born in, that's what your race. That's what I said. Whatever country you're born in, that's what your race is. That's what you're born in. What's the country? Cote d'Ivoire, whatever that country was, that French country was in Africa. That's what your race is when you come over here. You're born in Nigeria, you're Nigerian. You're Nigerian American. You're not Nigerian African American. You just named us two the fuck continents. You named us a continent. You named us two continents, bro. Just take one of the continents off is all I'm asking. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Thank you for the super chat, Miss Denise. I appreciate it. Whew, that was a lot of talking. Thank you for the super sticker. Says pair buying down. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat again. Says you're the best. I appreciate it. Oh, that was a lot, guys. They trying to keep the plot going. They trying to do something. They're trying to do something. They are trying to do something, guys. Okay? They are definitely trying to do something. Thank you, Jane Figueroa. Thank you, Jane Figueroa, for the super chat. It said, great work. Thank you. Thank you, Mini FBA. Somebody from Mini FBA. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Susu, for the super chat. They said read through for their rights. I appreciate it. Thank you, Chief Fast Poe, for the super chat. There's that beautiful glow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining me, and thank y'all for listening to me read. I done read myself into a headache. I'm finna go get me something to drink. I'm so thirsty in my throat. I don't even feel like I got a throat right now. My throat's so dry. That's it, guys. I have nothing else. Updates with finding land. I think I'm gonna have to cut this off, guys. I'm probably gonna have to cut it off this weekend just so I can catch up. I got a lot of people to catch up with. So I am gonna take the service off of the website for a little while, probably until I know I need about 2 weeks. I probably ain't gonna cut it back on until I catch up. The end of the month, probably. I got a lot to catch up with. And for those of you who've already started on, if y'all would like me to give y'all updates quicker without me fully completing like everything, then I can do that too. I just kind of like to have a little bit, more than a little information when I reach back out to people. But I wasn't able to send anything out for the past. When the last time I came on live? I was supposed to start sending out that. I didn't send anything out. I haven't sent anything out because I had a little bit of emergency with one of our unpackers. We're trying to find something. But I start back sending out tomorrow, Saturday, because I ain't got shit else to do. So that's my Saturday task. We got a little emergency, got a little emergency with one of the chat members. So we've been dealing with that for the past about 48 hours. Yeah, but anyway, starting back where I left off. I might do that tonight. I need to get me something to drink and calm down. I ain't gonna make no promises though. But yeah, I'm gonna have to turn that land service off of the website for a little bit until I can catch up. Probably take it down Sunday. Yeah, I saw yours. I got yours, Jane. I already got you. Wrote you down. But yeah, if you want to get the service and you want to just secure a slot until the end of the month, then you could pay in You could pay in arrangements on the website. I mean, you could do the what you call it, Apple Pay, Afterpay. I got Afterpay on the site. So somebody said, "Can you sing us out after me?" Now I done talked 3 hours. That's crazy. He said, "Can you sing us out after talking for 3 hours?" Not gonna get you a drink, Queen Janice. You even got to call me Queen. Just call me Janice. Please don't call me Chief. Go get you some. Your throat. I'm parched. Can't you see it? I'm parched. Nah. I didn't even get to read all the comments, and there's a lot of comments. I had a lot of comments on TikTok. I didn't delete them during live. I'm devastated. Y'all find out a way to find men, find what we need to do. Nah. Some people just getting in here talk about peace and blessings. What is you talking about? I know you ain't just getting in here. Okay? I'm about to go. I done cursed a lot. I done said profane language. I've been upset. I'm sorry. Please forgive my potty mouth. It is Friday. Y'all need to take a load off anyway. I'm sure you have laughed at me at some point in this show. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for clicking like. Thank you for everybody who signed the petition or shared the petition. Now you see the importance of us taking this scam of a name. We just need to be disconnected because these people scam on a whole nother level that we didn't even know existed until now. So find it, the land service that's on the website. That's when somebody's like, what are you talking about? It must be new. I help people. If you're new to this channel, I do help people find their land. I used to do genealogy. Don't really do that anymore. I just have a few clients left for genealogy. Probably took my last client, the last show. But I do help people who already have a significant amount of their genealogy done, meaning you know your grandparents at least. And you heard a rumor in your family that you have land in your family. I do help with finding that land and any commodities that I can find that's attached to it. I am taking the service down off the site so that I could try to catch up with the clients that I currently have. So like I said, I just give people a little time to get in the queue. And then I'm just taking it off the site. To be honest, it's probably gonna be outside for the rest of the month. I need to go hold you because I got a lot of people to catch up with. I got a lot of research that I've already done. I probably got 100 tabs open on my computer. It ain't no telling. And I got 2 computers with tabs and files and shit. Just, I mean, very organized, but just a lot. And I have to compose emails to send to a lot of people who have already did the research from. Did the research for. So yeah, so that's it. That's what I was talking about. Let me see. It wasn't the boule that sold us out. It was one nigga. Okay, it wasn't the boule. It was one nigga. And I'm surprised why didn't nobody handle that. Well, I don't even think he was a part of the boule. He was just one guy who was running for president who was backed by white people. We need to call a spade a spade. It wasn't a boule. It wasn't a divine nine. It was this one nigga. Nobody bust him upside the head when he did it or nothing. But see, people knew the impact of it. That's why so many people was protesting it when he was trying to do it. But he had white funding. A lot of white people backing him. Shit, a lot of white people backing him back in the day. They don't want to push them up to do it. They don't want to push them up to do it. Yeah, Jesse. I ain't want to call the name out, but y'all know what I'm talking about. They don't want to put the white folk pushed him up to do that. You can't even blame that on no organ. That was him and them white folk. You know? Shit. I'm telling you, man, that really messed us up bad. That really messed us up really bad. That messed us up really bad. Anyway, guys, I gotta give me something to drink. I love y'all so much. I could talk to y'all long if my throat wasn't so dry. But this 3 hour long show, this is exactly why I bought the battery that I bought for this camera, so that I could be live 3 hours. I just did not expect to be live for 3 hours a day. Facebook probably already cut me off a long time ago when I was screaming. They probably cut me off when TikTok cut me off. So thanks, YouTube, for not cutting me off. Anyway, for those of you who are new to this channel, I'm a very sweet person. I don't do this yelling unless only yell unless there's something attached to the yelling, like, power to the people type shit. Okay. Anyway, I'm nice to talk to just on a day-to-day. If you need a sweet affirmation or a kind word, you can always call me. Anybody who know me in person, no, I'm not a yeller. I'm actually a very quiet person. But if I see you fucking with people, I'm on your ass. I'm on your ass really bad. If I see you fucking with people, especially people who don't mess with nobody. Black Americans, we don't mess with nobody. And it's a shame that more people aren't taking up for us. We don't mess with nobody. We mind our motherfucking business. We take care of our kids. We take care of whoever we can take care of. And we move right along. It's a shame more people aren't taking up for us. It's a shame. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. Anyway, love you guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. Share it with someone. Good night.